It's the 14th day of the month of May. Good morning. You're welcome to News Morning here on TV3. I am Enyunam Haliga, coming up in a few minutes. Ghana begins diplomatic engagement to ascertain circumstances surrounding the arrest and detention of the Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North in Netherlands. Also, government set to launch 70% 5G coverage in Ghana by March 2077 when the country turns 70 years. And much later, Sekendi Takrade Nadmo identifies 88 unsafe properties for demolition as it wants owners to renovate or face removal. An international news, Nigerian court sentences former Power Minister Saleh Mahan to 75 years in prison after convicting him of laundering 33.8 billion naira. We're going to our first story now, where it's been hours since Parliament announced the arrest of the Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, Kwame Ohene Frimpong. Clerk to Parliament, Ebenezer Ajeto, who made the announcement, said efforts were underway to obtain full details surrounding the arrest and the incident. But the House is yet to provide further details as to the reason for his arrest, as Ghana's embassy is providing support to legislator. Now, still related to that, in a country's political landscape, few first-time members of parliament have captured public attention as quickly as the Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, Ohene Kwame Frimpong. Barely a year into office, his political journey is already marked by bold parliamentary interventions, glowing influence and controversy following his recent detention in Amsterdam. In the following report, Evelyn Tengma tells us more about Ohene Kwame Frimpong.
Before politics, Ohene Kwame Frimpong was already a familiar name in Asante Achim North. Through his media companies, Salt FM and Salt TV, he built a strong local following. But beyond broadcasting, many residents came to know him through philanthropy, donations to schools, support for churches, scholarships, and community projects. In the 2024 parliamentary election, Frimpong contested as an independent candidate and shockingly defeated the experienced incumbent MP Andy Apiakubi of the New Patriotic Party. He won by 26,926 votes, representing 70.25%, while Andy Apiakubi garnered a paltry 8,933 votes, representing 23.31%. In Parliament, Ohene Kwame Frimpong quickly developed a reputation for unconventional politics. In February 2025, he sparked national debate after delivering part of his parliamentary contribution in Asante Tree.
Eda Ghana fo nyina ene ewiase amansan nyina esu onyumtini kese a ne din ede Charles Kojo Fosu.
Honorable member, please, let's go by the rules.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I will be happy to translate after I've concluded with the tree into the English language. If you can indulge me, please.
Very well.
Thank you.
As a member of the Roads and Transportation Committee, Frimpong repeatedly called for improved road infrastructure in rural communities. He also jointly introduced a private member's bill to amend Article 94 of the 1992 Constitution to set a maximum age limit for parliamentary candidates. He spoke on the floor regarding the menace of prostitution, advocating for social interventions to get them off the streets. He is also reported to have introduced a private member's bill seeking reforms to political campaign financing in the country. In fact, Frimpong's profile grew beyond Asante Achim North. But on May 12, his political momentum faced unexpected turbulence. Reports emerged that the MP had been detained at Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam during an international trip. Parliament has confirmed. A statement issued by the clerk to Parliament, Ebenezer Ahoma-Jetro, said the matter had been brought to the attention of the House and was currently being addressed by parliamentary leadership. According to the statement, the Speaker and the leadership of Parliament are in contact with Ghana's diplomatic mission in The Hague to obtain detailed information regarding the incident. As of now, no political conviction or formal wrongdoing has been publicly announced against the MP. Evelyn Tinkma, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, away from that, drama unfolded at the frontage of the Akuma FM when a suspect pepper sprayed his escort police officer in an attempt to flee justice. Bystanders quickly assisted the police CID to rearrest the suspect after he broke free. The Wednesday morning incident drew public attention, of which our team have gathered. Now, the suspect and his escort officer later boarded a commercial tricycle, also known as Pragya, and left the scene, presumably headed to court. To some legal matters now, as lawyers for the former National Signals Bureau Director, Kwabena Iduboahen, have indicated that they have taken steps to advise the self after the court rejected the bank statement of BNC Communications Limited. The company is linked to Kwabena Iduboahen in the ongoing 49.1 million cedi cybersecurity defense software theft case. My colleague Lord Edwasari reports.
When the case was called on Wednesday, May 13, Samuel Atachia, lead counsel for the former National Signals Bureau Director, Kwabena Iduboahen, continued with the cross-examination of the prosecution's third witness, Mildred Donko. Questioning the witness regarding her role as the director of the companies of Kwabena Iduboahen, Atachia asked her to identify bank accounts which had been opened for operations by the accused person's companies. Mildred Donko shed light on the transactions undertaken by Advantage Solutions Limited, Vertex Solutions, SEC and Enterprise Dream Collection at the UMB Bank where she worked. An attempt to get the court to admit the bank statements from the BNC Communications Bureau Limited into evidence was, however, rejected after an objection was raised by Principal State Attorney Esi Dental Yanka. In his decision, Justice Francis Ashibonga maintained that though Mildred's witness statements indicated that she was handed pre-signed checkbooks and was given instructions regarding the said checks, no foundation had been laid to suggest that she was familiar with all transactions. The court, however, admitted bank statements of other companies of the former National Signals Bureau Director, including Advantage Solutions, Securities, Vertex Company and Enterprise Dreams Collections. Samuel Atachia expressed disappointment in the court's decision.
At the heart of the case, the prosecution is clear that the 49.1 million, which they allege have been stolen by the accused persons, were lodged in the very account. So how can anybody seriously will block the account? So we examine it. Meanwhile, the witness has said that she transacted on the B.N.C Communications Bureau account. I mean, how can it be right that the evidence which is at the center of this case is being blocked? It's unfortunate, but we'll advise ourselves.
The cross-examination of prosecution's third witness, Mildred Donko, continues tomorrow. The Lord Ibrasari, TV News.
To one of our headline stories now, as government has set an ambitious target to achieve 70% 5G population coverage by Ghana's 70th independence anniversary in March 2027. Communications Minister Samuel Nate George says the rollout will follow a competitive spectrum allocation designed to expand connectivity while protecting investment in the telecom sector.
The sector minister says the rollout forms part of broader reforms in spectrum management and digital infrastructure development. Speaking at the 15th anniversary launch of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications in Accra, Sam George revealed spectrum allocations will be carried out through a competitive bidding process.
The NTA is following due process to ensure there is fairness to all the affected licensees. But our target is unambiguous. We want to have 70% population coverage of 5G by Ghana's 70th Independence Day celebrations in March 2027.
Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Sylvia Owusu-Ankoma, says the increasing number of fiber cuts across the country is putting significant pressure on telecom operators.
Just around 400 cuts. We're experiencing over 8,000 cuts per annum when it comes to fiber cuts, which is increasingly a strain on our operators' resources.
Some industry players pledged their commitment to regulatory compliance within the telco space.
As industry players, we reaffirm our commitment to working with the government, not just as service providers, but as partners in development. We stand ready to support initiatives that leverage technology to improve public service, drive economic growth, and create opportunity for all Ghanaians.
Commissioned the Sweden Ghana Medical Center as the first facility to be absorbed under the Mahama Care Health Program, marking a major expansion in Ghana's cancer treatment capacity. The ultra-modern facility, now the home to West Africa's first nuclear medicine center, is expected to transform cancer diagnosis and treatment as government intensifies efforts to strengthen specialized healthcare delivery nationwide.
Sweden Ghana Medical Center, acquired by the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, has undergone major transformation and is now being positioned as a one-stop center for cancer diagnosis and treatment within the sub-region. This follows significant upgrades to the oncology center, including the installation of a cyclotron and the positron emission tomography PET scan equipment, which use controlled radiation technology to support targeted treatment for various cancer cases. The nuclear medicine facility is the first of its kind in West Africa, the third in Africa, and the 80th in the world. President Mahama attended the commissioning ceremony. NAT President Prosper Techi, while acknowledging the contribution of teachers toward improving healthcare access, appealed to government for tax reliefs on imported medical equipment and consumables.
Your Excellency, we think we have done our best, and at this point, we will invite you to come in to support us.
In response, President Mahama granted the association's request for tax reliefs on imported medical consumables and equipment on a case-by-case basis, and also announced the absorption of the facility under the Mahama Care Program.
This facility will be registered under the Mahama Care Fund as one of the recognized oncology centers for the treatment of cancer patients. And so cancer patients who come here for treatment will be covered under the Ghana Medical Trust Fund.
General Secretary of NAT, Thomas Musa Tanko, explained why the tax waiver has become critical to the sustainability of the facility.
The Lanac machine that came, we have to pay the tax alone we pay, the clearing tax. We pay 3 million Ghana cedis. It is for all of us. It is government's responsibility to get it done. And once individuals are doing it, the least the state can do is to come on board, partnership and collaboration. Let us all get it done to the benefit of all of us in Ghana, and it will save us.
Chief Executive Officer of the Sweden Ghana Medical Center, Dr. Clement Edusa, while underscoring the significance of the nuclear medicine facility, also urged early cancer diagnosis to improve treatment outcomes among the Ghanaian population. Later, President Mahama and the top hierarchy of NAT and SGMC toured the facility to inspect the newly installed equipment. The technological installations at the Sweden Ghana Medical Center are expected to significantly reduce cancer mortality through early detection and specialized treatment. Stanley Niblo, TV3 News, Accra.
So some other stories now, as the Sekendi Takoradi Metropolis Office of the National Disaster Management Organization has identified 88 properties across the metropolis that urgently require demolition to avert possible disasters. Property owners are expected to renovate the affected structures within a month or risk demolition and a surcharge to cover the cost of the exercise.
A structural integrity survey conducted by the Second Takoradi Metro Office of NADMO revealed widespread and worrying defects on several buildings. Some recreational and business centers, schools and residential facilities had developed deep cracks, exposed iron rods, broken doors and windows, while others had been abandoned or rendered completely uninhabitable. Despite the obvious danger posed by these structures, many of them are still occupied. At the last NADMO Emergency Committee meeting, a total of 88 properties were declared liable for demolition. Second Takoradi Metro Director of NADMO, Alhaji Abubakar Kamal, disclosed that notices had already been served on identified property owners.
At the last Special Planning Committee meeting, we as NADMO made recommendations to the committee, and currently I can report that the Honorable Metro Chief Executive, who is also the chairman of the committee, has given orders for us to write to the owners of these buildings concerning the state of their buildings and giving them a maximum of 1 month notice, that is per the act, for them to do something about their structures. If they fail to do so, the assembly will then rely on the same act and move in and do the needful.
He warned that the assembly would proceed with demolition exercises and surcharge owners who fail to rehabilitate their properties within the stipulated period.
So we would like to draw the attention of owners of such structures across the metropolis that they should be mindful of the state of their structures. Those that need some renovations, they should move in and renovate all these structures. Those that need to be demolished also, they should do the needful before the assembly and NADMO comes in to clear. And then mind you, the law also mandates us so that when we come in and we demolish, we surcharge the owners with every cost that the assembly may incur in the act of demolishing these buildings. So this is a word of caution to all owners or structure owners across the metropolis who own such buildings to do the needful before the assembly and NADMO comes in.
Irama Smith, TV3 News, Second Takoradi.
Now, to some international news, as the Nigerian court sentences the former Power Minister, Saleh Maman, to 75 years in prison after convicting him of laundering 33.8 billion naira. And that brings us to the end of News Morning here on TV3. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am Enyunam Haliga. Newday continues.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card.
do a comeback with a couple of songs or singles over the last 2 or 3 years. And they were just awesome when it comes to the music they produce and the generation that they produce the music.
And the dance moves as well.
Yeah,
MBS
because they all were routine, very much so. Before we had these TikTokers putting together dance moves, etc.
But I absolutely miss 4x4. I think they had some really good bangers. I wish they had continued. Unfortunately,
they were a great team.
Yes, they were. Their music was good.
4x4, they were just so great. And then there was Boot Back. Before then, there was Boot Back.
Oh, yes, that's true. That's true. Now, how many groups do we have? We have Keche. We have Lali and Lola who petitioned the VGMA team to bring back the Group of the Year category. Prior, you know him, Prior?
Yes, Prior.
Prior also had some really good music.
Prior was also alongside some of the top ones because we had TH for Kwajes, VIP, and then we had Prior's group. Then we have
VVIP.
Oh, subsequent.
Senadagadu, Skolum.
Subsequent. That was after they did a comeback as well.
Exactly.
They went for some hiatus and then came back. Yeah. But we have some great traits, right? When it comes to music and the influence we've had on the Africans. See, currently, we have Dope Nation influencing everything when it comes to celebration of either a win in football, in any sporting category or categorization. And I think that, they need to take it a notch higher.
They should. Why have you not joined the challenge? Because you're always on TikTok. I was hoping that I would see a video of you.
We're always watching TikTok.
Can we try the challenge this morning?
No.
You don't want to do the Kakalika challenge to support Dope Nation?
It's been a while.
Well, Kakalika is just this, or is there like a technique to it?
Oh no, I think it's a very simple dance.
No, but I've seen that there's some moves before because they do the turnaround.
You know, 2008, we had that. No. There was this one that Black Stars used for the 2008.
Asamajan, I think, did that as well. Yes, that was Asamajan's dance.
No,
my baby boy Asamajan.
That's from 2008. Yeah. It's not flamingos. There used to be something. I
know. And then he used to do the waist thing as well. Was it called the flamingo dance?
Is it
that's what it was called?
Really?
No, he used to raise his waist. Well, I don't remember the name, but we always used to look forward to Asamajan's dance moves whenever he scored. And now we have Dope Nation. There's a petition, well, more like, everybody just trying to get them to have FIFA World Cup, of course.
Recognition and then some appearance.
Exactly. And
I think for the football-loving community and then the players themselves, because they've used many of them, whether it's Real Madrid or PSG. I saw Newcastle and Everton last time as well. And even some of the ordinary, normal players in the individual teams across the leagues in Europe dance to it. So it looks like the football community, the players seem to be. And if they have a sport somewhere, either the opening or one of those events at the World Cup will be nice.
Because I'm sure we're going to see the Kakalika dance moves.
It will happen.
On the pitch. Either by the Ghanaian players or who knows, maybe even Mbappe and all those other players as well. That would be nice to have them perform. So let's see how that goes.
Dope Nation.
You guys are dope. We like Kakalika. It's really cool. Pun intended.
And a lot has been happening.
A lot.
Now it's formalized since that announcement by the Parliament of Ghana. A member of Parliament of the Ghana Parliament has been arrested.
Yes.
It was in Schiphol in the Netherlands as well. We're told that the FBI as well as the US government did that coordination.
Yes.
And is also linked to some money laundering, fraud, and then also romance schemes as well. But for us, it will be a question of whether our authorities knew the arrest, were they told, were they put on alert, etc. Because when it comes to diplomatic engagement, ideally that is what, let's say, the US government via the FBI or Homeland Security should be able to do.
Exactly.
And these are questions I think that we also need to ask, because you cannot just arrest or detain any of our diplomatic emissaries, so to speak, because the gentleman is a member of Parliament and holds a diplomatic passport, and I'm sure was traveling on that passport as well. So it's a bona fide Ghanaian official.
Exactly.
And these raise questions about that. So what does it mean? The next time we have our president going and then he's arrested somewhere. Is that the best thing to do?
Is that the best thing?
You know,
especially because there are also questions being asked about whether we could also initiate arrest processes here if any of the other countries' government officials found themselves in this country. And Oliver Bakavoma was one of the people who's been asking. He's been very vocal about extradition processes, you know, and the agreements that we have between ourselves and the international communities as well. And now he's speaking on this because he's saying that we're a sovereign nation, and so we must be treated with respect. Then he asked that, are we sure we could arrange the arrest of a U.S. congressman under such circumstances? So, yeah, we'll be asking you what you make of this arrest as well for the This Morning conversation. And so get ready, call in and let us hear from you. But it's a very concerning matter.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We have extradition treaties by way of the conventions we have or the treaty we have with the United States of America. But again, if our authorities were not put on high alert, just like we're having for the gentlemen or the ladies so-called who have been involved in the money laundering and romance schemes being arrested, that's a proper arrangement that we have been told has been in place. But this one, so far, nobody has told us that. And I think also the Minister of Foreign Affairs needs to come and brief maybe the public rightfully as well on how a Ghanaian so-called emissary or official could be arrested in that manner. Did we know about it, etc.? It's very important that we get to know.
And it's a valid question. Someone is also asking something similar. He says, not touching on the merits of the case, but I am kind of disappointed that government didn't know a sitting MP was under a warrant of arrest by a foreign government. He says, Blue Gate is sleeping. Our foreign intelligence gathering has become weak. We cannot conclude all too soon because we're still waiting for government to also come out with further details as to whether they were even aware of it first of all, or were blindsided by this arrest. But again, we'll be asking you shortly what you make of this, and we'll give you the chance to call in and speak to us.
Yeah, certainly. What are you discussing for big issues?
So, of course, yesterday, news broke out that Abronya DC, you know, one of the members of the NPP and, of course, one of the leading executives.
He's a regional...
chairman. Exactly. So he had been remanded for 2 weeks.
Again.
And this is supposed to be a follow-up to some allegations that were made against him concerning disrespect towards a judge. And so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has released a statement, and he says that he doesn't understand why this government is trying to silence some of the opposition members. And so he has a concern about it. So we'll be speaking to that. And yeah, we could open phone lines on that as well, if it's possible. Depends, really.
Because the tone of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's statement is succinctly to say that the current dispensation of our practice of democracy has been destroyed as a result of a lack of a proper environment where you can undertake free speech.
Free speech, yes.
And so it's also up to the members of the public as well to make that judgment that if you have anything worrying you, you cannot air your views, whether you're a practitioner in the media or you're a political stakeholder, etc. I have to admit that we've had some individuals in the opposition. The last time we had a communication officer for the Bone East constituency, MPP officer, who also was arrested because he made a comment. There was an AI image of, is it the president and some others that he put together and posted. And subsequently he raised questions about whether he did that, and that also in itself warrants you to arrest the person as well. Kofi Bento also has been commenting on this and says that despite the prominence and then also the popularity of Jerry John Rawlings, our former president, the fact that in his time, from the time he was a military ruler up to his entry into the democratic dispensation, there were concerns, particularly about the ability of people and the journalists to be able to air their views. And that also was a concern for many others, nationally as well as internationally. That was a big dent on his image, and he couldn't even check it off. So that also means that the president has to be wary of that as well.
Yeah. So we'll have that conversation, and if there's time, we'll delve into the Africa Education Watch report about the SHS and the fact that, unfortunately, we do not have the capacity to take the over 620,000 students who wrote the BEC last year and to help them transition into the SHS system, because the only space we have is for 535,000 students. And so what's the plan with regards to infrastructure and all that for these students moving forward, because they will be expected to go to school or to start secondary school in August, between August and September. And government has not updated us on, infrastructure improvements and all that. So we'll have time to speak about that as well. We have Nanaya joining us this morning. Nanaya Achimpim Janto, I've missed her. It's been a while since I saw her. And she is, of course, a presidential staffer. Lerato Musa Saka, MPP Comms team member, will be joining us. Hajia Gloria Menu, National Women's Organizer, United Party, and Rodalini Moro Ayana, public interest advocate. They will be joining us for that conversation. What about you?
Certainly. So we have the latest sports updates as well. There's a lot that's been happening when it comes to criticism leveled internationally at the ongoing Senior Athletics Championship that's taking place in Accra. And I've also particularly seen videos of pole vaulters who had their sticks or the pole itself breaking midway before they made the jump. And then also the concern about the food that was served, I think, on the first day or second day or so.
They're getting only one egg.
Yes, raising issues, especially from the camp of the South Africans at the time. And journalists across the continent also raising issues about that. It's gotten into the headlines and it speaks volumes about the organization.
It does.
And so we'll ask the sports team what the concerns are.
Absolutely. And yes, we're cashing out as well this morning, and so you know exactly what to do. We're giving 1,000 Ghana cedis to 10 people. Wow. So it's on your screen right now. Just dial *439#. Follow the prompts and pick your favorite platform. And you could win 1,000 Ghana cedis this morning. We're giving 10 people 1,000 Ghana cedis each. And you could be very lucky to win that money. And so, on that note, remember to keep playing as many times as possible so you can win. And remember to choose option 2, which is TV3, because you're playing on the TV3 platform, which I know is your favorite MG platform. And so remember to select option 2, TV3, and dial *439#. But we're getting into our this morning conversation, and we're going to break down exactly what the chronology of events have been with regards to the arrest and detainment of the Asante Achim North MP. And so Roland will just give you those details in a bit, but it's time now for this morning.
And the Member of Parliament at the center of this controversy so far is the Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, and that's OK Frimpong. We know he's a businessman as well, alongside being a Member of Parliament. Before making entry into Parliament, was known to be a big spender when it comes to charity or philanthropy as well, particularly in the Ashanti region, his constituency. And he has a lot of people behind him. Not only with the MPP, for which before he entered Parliament, he was a strong member for, had tried also to contest at the primaries for the MPP in the constituency, but he's at the center of this. OK Frimpong, his full name is Ohene Kwame Frimpong, the Asante Achim North constituency Member of Parliament. And we're told that this arrest was made in Schiphol, Amsterdam, and has to be around the airport because there's an airport, and then within the narrative that he was arrested in. And this whole involves a number of individuals, according to what has already been published within the annals of the U.S. justice system, based on warrants of arrest, so to speak, involving involve money laundering, romance schemes, etc., and then receiving illicit funds into various accounts for a group of individuals, one of whom we are being told allegedly is our member of parliament for Asante Achim North, and involves a sum with totaling within a certain period of time of some $32 million. And we also know that if we have to give you a chronology of the timeline of event, it was on Saturday evening, May 9, that the gentleman, the member of parliament, departed Ghana to go to his destination. And then by May 11, Sunday morning, he arrived in Amsterdam, the Schiphol airport, detained before clearing immigration at that airport. And then on the 12th, Parliament issued official statement, and this statement was coming from the Speaker, and then said contacts were being made at the time with officials of the Ghana mission in the Netherlands. And then also on the 13th, we had reports linking the arrest to FBI investigations, alleged financial crimes that were being purported. And then also we're told that no formal charges had been confirmed, but sources are already indicating that the U.S. authority had made publications on their portals about what the composition of the offenses or the charges were. And then subsequently, the number of individuals who were involved, including him, one or two other Ghanaians, and then a couple of Nigerians, and then those in the diaspora as well, involved in this romance scheme, illicit money laundering as well, and then also romance scams that we're told. And what concerns the Ghanaian public mainly, and then for us here, raising questions. And then Bella also told you about Oliver Baka Voma, or the lawyer, and then the advocate as well, raising key questions about the immunity as a sign of what the Constitution guarantees, and then subsequently what also it portends for other officials who are holding diplomatic passports, who are of public repute, who are in public office as well, and then what will happen to them if due recourse was not made before this arrest. Now, the concern is that when you have a recourse to what the provision is in the Constitution in Article 115, it says that members of Parliament also cannot be sued or prosecuted for what they say in Parliament or in parliamentary debate. This directly is not in conformity to the reasons why he has been arrested. But the question is why it does not protect the member of Parliament right here, because private trips, not parliamentary duty, should be the reasons when you either will be covered for this immunity. Now, the immunity only covers travel to and from during parliamentary proceedings. Frimpong was on a personal January tour trip as well. He's a member of Parliament nonetheless. He's also somebody who holds a diplomatic passport. And so, Bella, that also will indicate that he's an official of Ghana, traveling out of Ghana to a destination outside the country, and so should be accorded an Indian respect, irrespective. And at least the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as well as the Parliamentary Service, should be made aware if there's any warrants, because warrants after the arrest need to also to be served as well. So.
Exactly. But if you look at the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, it does say that diplomatic passports do not grant automatic immunity from arrest for Ghanaian officials, including MPs, abroad, unless they are accredited diplomats. So that's if they are ambassadors or embassy staff in that specific country. So while diplomats possess immunity, other officials may be arrested for criminal offenses, especially under international cooperation. So he may have held a diplomatic passport, but once he does not work with a particular embassy or does not hold a position as an ambassador, per the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, he is not immune to arrest outside of his jurisdiction. And so I guess that's also why they were able to pick him up, at the airport. But then again, it raises concerns. What are some of the conversations that we can have beyond this to ensure that we also protect,
certainly,
yes, our people?
Yeah. He's not the first member of Parliament from our Parliament who will be picked up anyway. The US, again, the FBI, the Homeland Security also undertook one for Eric Amo as well during the Kufuor administration. He also had been alleged, subsequently prosecuted, to have been involved in dealing in narcotics, so to speak, and the trade in itself. He had been monitored for a lengthy period of time. And then it's Article 116 that protects the MPs, but that's also for Ghana as well. And then Ghana's law cannot bind Dutch police, and that also we take recognition for. Now, when it comes to why it does not protect him as well, the Speaker of Parliament has said so himself. He said no member can act as though the confidence of the electorate is a shield against scrutiny. And he made this comment last year as well. But this is a suspicion of his involvement in an international crime, so to speak. The question that has been raised by Oliver Bakavomawo is that because he's an official of the Parliament of Ghana, and subsequently it means that if you're undertaking this, at least there has to be recourse or perhaps some level of information, or you put the officials of Ghana on alert just for the diplomatic purposes that it serves, and then the mutual relations that are between the countries or the bodies that are undertaking or effecting the arrest. So basically, that's it, Bella. I don't know what the constituents or the ordinary Ghanaian will feel that if they should have any of their members of parliament travel out and then subsequently they are detained or arrested, how they feel about it as well. But the law is the law, and that's what it is.
Indeed. But also, another question that's popping up for a number of people, they're asking that before anybody declares their intention to run, for an office in government, is there any background check that is done extensively to ensure that they don't have any alleged criminal past? Just to make sure that we don't have them going into parliament and then eventually having to face the law and getting embarrassed in one way or the other. And so what exactly is done to make sure that such people do not make it into parliament or into the executive, the legislature, or the judiciary? And those are some questions that are being asked as well. Was this done? And if it was done, were we able to uncover some of these issues? If we were, did we cover it up or not? And so those have to be answered as well by the authorities. So let us get a better understanding. Because otherwise, then anybody at all can decide that I have money. It doesn't matter if I have a criminal past, as long as it's not come to light. I can go into parliament, I can, take up government office. And then where do we head from there?
Well, true, because there have been a number of allegations that have been raised, even either for the individuals in the present parliament, and then even in the past parliament, from all sides of the political divide, about arrest and then also sometimes sentences they served in other jurisdictions. At least we know for one or two others in the US and then in Australia, for example, where we're told, and then even in the UK, that an individual said some sentence or was involved in a criminal matter. And so then the question then goes further, what sort of collaboration should we be doing so that when it comes to the forensic audits and then investigation that need to be undertaken, you do the proper background checks.
Exactly.
Mind you, when it comes to the data that the Western countries keep, they tend to keep thorough data from the time you enter the country and then all your public acts that were undertaken. So it could be quickly retrieved. So that question is valid. Do we undertake these forensic audits on individuals who want to put up themselves for public elections? And how far do we make or undertake those investigations to unravel whether they were involved in any act or omission elsewhere in the world?
Yes, indeed. So we're opening the phone lines to speak to you as well. Give us your thoughts on this matter. But we're also going to take some reaction from some of his constituents about what they make of this. Take a look.
On the streets, the home, at the base, he's the man of the people. Free okay, they say. Constituents are confident the embattled MP will return someday. For now, they are oblivious what may have caused his arrest. Some suspect a foul play. In the pool of speculation, they await the actual reason for his arrest. William Evansinkum, TV3 News, Agogo.
Well, so you're hearing from his constituents and they're asking for him to be freed. We're yet to get further details on this matter, but it looks as if they really do not care about that. It's all about getting him out of detention. But we await further details on this matter. And again, we want to hear from you what you make of this. But let me just go straight to what, well, we'll take a call first and then we'll look at what Oliver posted on social media. Good morning, Peter T.
Yeah, good morning, Bella Mundi.
How are you?
Yeah, Roland, I hope you are doing well.
Chala Adewelo, good morning.
Good morning, Roland.
All right.
Let me use your platform to say hello to Alhaji Yaya Kondo.
Peter, please speak up for us. We can barely hear you.
Okay, I said let me use the. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's faint, but we can manage. Go ahead.
Okay, that I'm using your platform to say good morning to Alhaji Yaya Kondo, the liaison of the National Security Operation, Alhaji Mahdi, National Democratic Congress, Director for Election, and let me say Emmanuel Ashali Tete, Greater Accra Regional Liaison Officer, National Security, and the Honorable Chairman Avar, National Democratic former chairman. Belamundi, you know what? We have to learn from some of these things. I don't know if NDC is also learning from this. Because for the past record that we had, that those who have been arrested by any authority outside, it's all been NPP. And I'm surprised the statement that the former Vice President Baumia has issued against NDC, that they are harassing their people. Can they write? They should issue the same statement to where their MP has been arrested. Because what does that? I mean, we need to be very careful. But you see, Roland, I'm signaling this warning to NDC that as a party, they should take cue from this. And as a government, they must be very careful the way they are treating their core members, their own core members, and the party faithful. If care is not taken, and there should be an election today, these are some of the results that we are going to get. And they should not also think that because we have won, or they have won with that large margin, humiliating the MPP, is going to repeat itself tomorrow.
Okay.
Today, they are all over the place. When we were going to elections, they were using their people in a uniform that had been recognized by them in khaki uniform. But what is the call today? Today they are asking their own full soldiers in this same uniform today as national security that they should be arrested by any policeman or any soldier who meets them in the uniform. What are they talking about?
All right, Peter.
Are they denying our own people? So they should be very careful.
Okay,
the
Peter.
The National Security Coordinator, and all that at the Blue 8 grade, serving as leadership.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Just keep your comments brief so we can allow other people to also speak as well. But this morning we're focusing on the Asante Achim North MP and his detainment at the Schiphol Airport. And so if you have any concerns about that, if you have any questions or you want to share your opinion on it, you can call us now and let us know what you make of it. And yes, this other conversation about the statement released by Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, the flag bearer of the NPP, we will get into that conversation for the big issue.
It's well intended,
Yes.
and I think that we need to go into it as well. But so that we already have another caller, Master Planner Jr.
Yes.
Master Planner Jr., good morning.
Fantastic, good morning, Papa.
Bono East Region Incoming Communication Officer, or is it Kintampo East rather? Kintampo North. Okay.
I can pay manager bar.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going for the region. That's why.
No, the region went there now. It's the next 4 years.
Master Planner Junior, please, what's on your mind on this subject matter? The call is that there was no recourse to the Ghanaian government, so to speak, the Parliament of Ghana, and then the concern is that can we just have any of our officials just being arrested helter-skelter, as the idiom is?
Okay, Papa, first of all, let me say a special good morning to the incoming president, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia. And then I know Napo will be the vice president in 2029, inshallah. And then all MPP executive. Roland, Peter just a question that Dr. Baumia should write a letter to who? The MP director who told him he's MPP MP. He is not MPP MP, so Peter should get his facts right. He is even working with the MPs. So if you don't have anything to say, we are begging you, don't push Dr. Baumia in this matter. That's why I'm calling purposely this morning. I heard him mention Dr. Baumia's name and that Dr. Baumia should write a letter about who? begging them, they are not going to show us how to run our party. When we appointed committee members, they are all over making noise. This committee top that what it doesn't concern you. Focus on rebuilding your party. You don't know your party is in crisis. Didn't you hear Mustafa Bande? So I'm begging the NDC, they should relax. You mark them boot for boot when they start their party reorganization. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, very uncharacteristically, your comment has been short today. Zach, have a good morning. As your campaign manager, I think that you should be more so we have David.
David from Ashaliboche. Good morning, David. Ashaiman. David, good morning.
Hello, fine morning.
All right, thank you for joining us. I hope you're well. What are your thoughts?
By His grace, I'm very fine.
We thank God.
Thank God for the life of everyone.
Amen.
Fine morning.
Carry on. Share your thoughts with us.
Thank God for the life of everyone. I'm having problem with the okay. My problem is when you went to Ashanti region, his constituency, the people you interview, it's like the street guys. So it doesn't sound well about the man. It's like we have to investigate from, individual, but the street guys that will let people think, no, the man is not well taken at his constituency.
Oh, but they also vote, so don't they have a voice?
They have a voice, but it's supposed to be both.
Okay.
It's supposed to be both. That is what I mean.
Okay. Okay.
They have a voice, but what I mean is, it's supposed to be both. The way it is only the street guys, people will say, oh, Semkrofua or that is what is my worry. But as everything hasn't come out of what exactly he has done, for me, I see no wrong. So
you see no wrong in why he's been arrested, allegedly?
We don't know the actual thing.
Which is why I'm wondering why you're saying you see no wrong, because we don't have the full details. So don't you want to wait to be apprised before you make a judgment on it?
You know, U.S. knows what. Yes, that's what I'm saying. As we don't have the full details. That is what I'm saying. U.S. know the reason why.
Okay.
But that has not been communicated to our nation. So all that we have to do is to pray for, it's between two nations. So let's pray so that whatever he has done shouldn't be something that he will be detained over there and then at the end may not be good results. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on us. I don't know what your description of street guys means necessarily, but they are constituents as well.
I think they are members of his constituency.
Exactly.
So they are entitled to those views as well.
Yes.
And this one is coming from Robert Coleman, Chief Executive for the Wembley Sports Construction Company. He says, good to see you back. And
good
says,
to
good morning to you. Says that when he calls you, you don't pick up.
Robert.
So be picking up Robert's calls.
This is in Kwanchen, roadside.
And so Zilis Dwayne says that, so Dr. Baumia's supporter Bronye for threatening a judge. This is unbelievable. Since this government took office, press freedom has moved up to 39th in the ranking. So I don't think there's gagging of free speech in Ghana per se, and it has to be well explained. And then Moses says that tell your callers to stick to the subject matter under discussion. And a couple more. I have this one coming from Mama War of the Asogli State. It's quite interesting what has been attributed to the Member of Parliament. I agree with Bella. We need to scrutinize and investigate the backgrounds of the individuals who want to stand for political office in Ghana. Not going to elect them into the office. They're undertaking the activities and then they get to disgrace the Republic of Ghana. Mama Bua of the Asogli State has this.
We have another caller.
Okay. Good morning. What's your name?
Paparo.
Oh, Alaji, been a year about Shelley. That's about.
Paparo. Nah, today.
Nah.
Bernard Monday, that's about.
Nah, I almost said to. I'm lost.
Gombian.
So Gombian means what?
First of all, let me send my greeting to Beatrice and Kukiti and Chief of Staff Honorable Julius Debra and Dr. Akar Wumbe, incoming Northern Regional Secretary for NDC, and Prince Harry from Koforidua, and I sit Wa Communication Officer, and also turning for the Communication Officer for Sabulugu. And Shemi Mamuso and Zwahala Jonathan. Roland, when you look about this case, I think that we have a judge who, the people who judge the cases, without knowing listen to the person. If you want people going to social media, and some people write up saying that they charge him $32 million. What kind of article is that? We need to listen and do our things. We should wait. Each and any report come out, and we can use it to judge the case. But we shouldn't rush to judge the case. I think it does nothing wrong. So they need to be fair for the man, because he's an honorable member, he's a fine gentleman, the person who knows how to speak to the people. Look at the huge vote, and they vote for him. Look at the huge vote, and they vote for him. So you need to respect that one. If you want to speak, don't speak anyhow. If you speak anyhow, that cannot help us. So how we will do to protect our people, that's what me I need. That FBI, if they need something, they need to talk to Ghana, and maybe we can take the right step. Maybe they can investigate him. Is that also? So what kind of life is that? May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And just quickly, let me read exactly what Oliver Bakavomawa posted on Twitter last night. He says that if the news that the MP was arrested at the request of the U.S. government is true, I think we need to summon the U.S. envoy immediately. If they withheld critical information from our intelligence services and laid traps outside for our officials, then I think it is unacceptable. We are a sovereign nation that must be treated with respect. Our public officials cannot be plucked away in traps set abroad without so much as the courtesy of prior communication. And he continues to say, are we sure we could arrange the arrest of a U.S. congressman under such circumstances? What kind of partnership informs are being treated with so much disrespect? First, Oforiata, now this. They have more to lose if they continue like this. Shalom. We have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bella.
Talk to us. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Lopez. I'm calling from Clicko.
I can barely hear you.
My name is Lopez. I'm calling from Clicko.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah. Bella, you are welcome on board.
Thank you very much,
Lopez. For a while.
Yes, thank you.
My greetings to my brother, Roland. I would like to contribute to the arrest of the MP.
Please go ahead.
See, the fact that he's an MP doesn't mean if there's something wrong at his side, the law shouldn't deal with him. For him being arrested in another man's land, you think the law should just take its course. At the end of the day, if he vindicates himself, fine enough. If he did not, then the law should deal with him. Let us not push our parliament to say they should do something about it. There's nothing Ghana parliament can do about that. Excuse me to say, Nipani ya konfo, mrana enshena and also to add up to the NDC government, to me as an individual, I think they have failed us. Because when you look at the rousing victory Ghanaians gave to NDC, they are not doing exactly what we expected them to be doing. Especially today, our fuel price are very high. Transportation fare is our problem. Before you move from your house to your working place, at the end of the day, the transportation alone is taking over 60% of your income. So, as for NDC, I will only see we are waiting for the right time whereby we'll push Dr. Baumudu Baumia to become the president in 2023. 28th, inshallah. And I would like to use this your platform to greet my chairman of the constituency, that's Ketu South NPP chairman, and also use the opportunity to greet Honorable Paulo Squashi, who is contesting as a first vice at the regional level, voter region.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Bella.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you for sharing with us. And very quickly, just good morning to Matilda Koshi Bannerman. I hear you're one of our ardent viewers and you're excited that I'm back. Thank you very much. It's good to have you watching us this morning.
Na Koshi. Yes. All right. So I have this one from Bonti Benjamin, who says that the BNI and other security agencies must be up and doing to save our nation from such an international embarrassment, and then concludes Ghana deserves better. And then Aaron Brasso says that there's an ongoing recruitment hiccup and problem that nurses who had been trained from 2021-2026, where we have portals opened and they can't get access. TV3 be able to address this problem. Well, we'll address it. Don't worry. We'll discuss this. I'm sure by tomorrow we'll be able to do that thoroughly. And then I have this one also from Prince Henry Kofodia, who says that the Member of Parliament needed to be accorded the needed respect. At least if we had the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the government of Ghana and then the Speaker notified, there was no need for any concern to be raised. But here we are. The Speaker, based on his statement, seemed to be in the lull, not knowing what happened. And this cannot be countenanced. Sherry Giovanni says, it's sad to hear that our lawmakers are caught up with the very law they make for citizens to obey. This is not good for the image of Ghana internationally. I humbly urge the Parliament of Ghana, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to extend consular assistance to him and to ensure he's safe. We pray for God's intervention, and says happy birthday in advance to Miss Agnes Che of Aveda RC Primary School. And then we have other comments also coming through as well. Do we have more callers? Okay. All right. Okay, so we'll continue with the comments as well. Ajay Boateng says that the Member of Parliament's arrest should not be countenanced. If you come to Asante Achim North, he has been a very big contributor to the local economy. While members of Parliament are alleged to have engaged in any illicit acts, they should be investigated and then also the public told why they are being arrested, not this Rambo-style arrest that took place in the Netherlands. And then, as Aziz Nolan says, MPP and their communicators are behaving astonishingly poorly regarding the misconduct of the Abono regional chairman. Sharing misinformation is a crime in our law books and must be respected, as is done.
We have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Bella.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
My name is Blackie Das. I'm calling from the DLE.
All right. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Good. The way things are going on, I don't understand how our state institutions operate. Since the time of Kosovo, that is when we heard of a member of parliament getting arrested in the United States, and all down the line, the way we select people to represent us. When you listen to the Asante people, the way they are talking, it is as if we are interested in the petty things on the surface, rather than going down. I am not saying the man is a criminal, far from it, but we are rather interested in some surface unnecessary things like, oh, he's a kind-hearted person, he gives people, without being due diligence to the background of the person. Eventually, we end up degrading ourselves when it comes to certain things like this. How can we degrade ourselves like this? You see, our state institutions must go down and do thorough background check on such characters. They are always outside. You don't know how they are doing their things. But when they come home with the money, we start following them, disregarding the kind of like the picture they bring to the board. I hope you understand me. And in fact, it is very, very unfortunate. We hope that he is not guilty. We pray that he gets out. But this thing, there are certain things that prayer does not solve. The only thing that God will not do is what man can do. The only thing, anything man can do, God will not intervene. He only comes to do what we cannot do. That is all. For that one, the prayer will not say anything unless he pronounced innocent or guilty. Nothing else.
All right.
That's to everybody.
Thank you very much, sir, for speaking to us. And lawyer Amanda Clinton has been speaking, and she's also saying that could it be that the FBI and the U.S. government did not trust our officials, our security agencies, which is why they did not pre-inform us and laid wait for him, you know, at the airport outside of our jurisdiction? Could that also be a reason? And could there be a precedence to it, which is why they may not? And this is just a question, by the way, but could that also be one of the reasons why maybe our officials
It's a good question. That perhaps maybe there's a fear that when this travels within the official circles, information could be trickling to the member of parliament, and so would not make that travel for him to be detained, so to speak. It's a good question, but that's why we need the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, particularly also in relation to the Parliamentary Service and the Speaker's Office to come out proper and then make a statement to the public, particularly for his constituents, that we knew nothing about it and that this took us by surprise, so to speak, because other members of parliament, going by the concerns that have been raised by lawyer Oliver Bakavomawo, could also be in the fear that perhaps I could be detained. And people could be detained not necessarily because they undertook an act of omission. It's just an allegation in the first place. Subsequently, if you don't have charges preferred against you, then it means that later, if you're released, what happens to your reputation, etc. So it's a concern that perhaps we can also take on board. Sheikh Abubakar Ali Napar is the president for the Life Foundation, says that good morning. Particularly, I'm a bit uneasy and a bit unnervy about the arrest of the Member of Parliament. It's not good for the image of the Republic of Ghana, and the authorities must put a stop to it. We don't have to politicize the subject matter. It's about Ghana. What will happen if officials knew about it, and then the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Parliament of Ghana, were well informed, and so in the release by the Speaker of Parliament, we would have been communicated to that from so and so date, a warrant of arrest was issued, and so communicated to the Parliament of Ghana, and so they would have been in the know. It's not good. What happens if our president is detained? Remember, the US is fond of doing this. They detained, or they plucked out, Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela from his presidential villa. And so nobody is immune, and this should be a concern for everybody else. And Stephen Toby, good morning to you. He's an official from Liberia watching us, and says he's back in Accra. And we're having a nice discussion on the subject.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for your calls, and we'll continue the conversation, but not on this topic, however. We'll take a look at that statement that has been released by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, accusing the NDC government of trying to silence the opposition and using the security agencies and other institutions to arrest them and to silence them. And so we'll get into that conversation for the big issue. But before that, perk up your day the Milky Way with a rich, smooth taste of Perk Milk biscuits and Perk Milk shortcake. It is pure delight. And so this morning, if you're watching us, stay with us. We have more coming your way. This is TV3 Newday. Up next is the big issue.
Sexy face, the girl them want. Man with a pretty face, the girl them want a fresh boy.
All right, you're welcome back, and this is TV3 Newday. It's time now for the big issue, and I get to meet my aunties and my big sisters for the first time in maybe like a year. It's good to actually see all of them, and we're going to have a conversation on a very important matter, something that has come up over time. But yesterday, more light was thrown on it after a statement was released by the flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And we'll get into that statement, we'll read the details, and then we'll get into that as well. But let me just introduce my guest for this morning. And sitting right next to me is our very own Nanaya Chimpim Jantwa. She's a presidential staffer, and it's good to see her. My condolences, by the way, as well.
You are looking motherly. But you are looking beautiful.
I don't know what to say. Thank you. I don't know what to say, Nanaya. How have you been?
Actually, I've been there. I've been there.
It is well. And maybe let me just hold on with the introduction, and let me go into the release from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and then after that, I will formally introduce all my guests as well. So yesterday, a statement was officially released from the office of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, flag bearer of the NPP, and I'll read the details. He says that I have observed with great concern the endless assault on the fundamental rights of officers, activists and supporters of the NPP across the country by the NDC. These attacks, arrests, detentions and unconscionable bail conditions have been a persistent feature of the NDC government since they took office on the 7th of January 2025. The latest of such acts of intimidation have been the arrest, detention and subsequent release of David Isando for lamenting on social media about the return of Dumso and the bizarre decision to put the NPP Bono Regional Chairman Kwame Bafo-Bronye into custody. Continues to say that these actions undermine free speech and are setting Ghana's democracy backwards. I condemn in the strongest of terms the unholy collaboration between the executive, state investigative agencies and some elements within the judiciary to use intimidation and harassment to silence members of the NPP. I therefore serve notice to officers of the state who are active participants in this unholy enterprise that the day of accountability will come and the abuse of state power will be accounted for. To patriots around the country, I urge all of you to stay firm by refusing to succumb to intimidation while continuing your civic duty to hold the government accountable to its promises. And it says that we fought hard for this democracy, and as a party, we cannot surrender it to intimidation from those who possess temporary power today. Signed by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on Wednesday, the 13th of May, 2026. And so clearly, like he stated, it follows the rearrest and detention of the Bono Regional Chairman of the NPP. And I'll just give you some background on what he's been through in the last couple of months. So in September 2025, he was detained on charges related to offensive conduct and publication of false news. He was taken into custody after comments on the IGP, where he alleged that the IGP was targeting some vocal opposition figures while ignoring the broader security concerns highlighted in a recent report. And so as a matter of fact, he was charged with publication of false news and offensive conduct conducive to the breaches of peace, and he was remanded in police custody by the Accra Circuit Court. But later, he was granted bail to a tune of 50,000 Ghana cedis. And then after that, we're told that in April as well, in 2026, he was arrested again by the CID of the Ghana police, and he was picked up as part of investigations into allegations of offensive conduct, false publication and statements likely to incite fear and panic. We're told that he allegedly made some threats at a judge at the Adentan Circuit Court. And so on the 14th of April, he was granted bail again, and then he flew out of the country, we're told that for health reasons. Then just this week, he was rearrested in connection with the ongoing defamation case at the Accra Circuit Court, and just yesterday he was remanded for 2 weeks to reappear in court on May 27th. So this is one of the main reasons why that statement came from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and he believes that this is a deliberate attempt to undermine free speech, and he says they're setting Ghana's democracy backwards. We'll get into the conversation now, but again, let me introduce my guests to you one more time. Already you've seen Nana Iya Chimpim Jantwa It's good to see you. But also next to her is Lerato Musa Saka, the NPP Communications team member on the table today. Good morning, Lerato.
Good morning.
How you doing?
You know, she has a weird way of showing love to me. So
she does, eh?
Yeah, she's missed me, I know.
She has. She hasn't seen you in a while?
She hasn't seen me in a
Oh,
while.
okay.
Yeah.
I see. I haven't seen you in a long while as well. You haven't texted me to even say hi.
Oh, I have.
This life. I checked on you, Lerato.
Really?
It's even the new year crash.
You responded by some way, but it's fine. We'll have that conversation off air. Also joining us, Hajia Gloria Amenu is the National Women's Organizer of the United Party. It's good to finally meet you. I watched you on TV. I love your colors this morning, by the way.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing well.
Yes.
Yes. I've noticed that she has a lot of
the golden house. Yes, the golden house. Coming from the golden house. Yes, anything yellow is golden.
I see.
So UP is golden as well.
Ah, Lerato almost wore yellow today.
Yes,
almost.
Almost.
In fact, there's yellow in her house. I don't know if she's trying to say she's a butterfly part-time or not. Oh, I said there's yellow in there somewhere.
Yeah, but they are yellow, they are shade of yellow.
Butterfly turned red. I see. Also, Madame Rodelyn Imurayana is a public interest advocate. Good to see you as well again.
You too,
I hope you're well.
I'm fine.
All right.
And yourself?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Anyway, Lerato, let's talk about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So, also joining us on Zoom, by the way, we'll have a political analyst who touch on this briefly for us, Mr. Samuel Lefriye. He's there, but let me just start off with the conversation. Then I have Pacho.
This is a women's program.
Yes.
We have told you time and time again, we don't want men here. When they are, you have given them from Monday to Thursday. Why are you still bringing a man to bring a man? We don't want it. Today is our day. We don't want to share it with anybody.
Point noted. We apologize.
Yes.
5 days.
Yes.
They have Tuesday, what?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Saturday, the women have been coming sometimes.
No.
Akosia Menu has been
You
coming.
said sometimes.
But she came.
You said sometimes.
How old is the show? How old is it?
Anyway,
how many women
we
are
understand.
So
we apologize.
Want a man here today.
We apologize. Let me start off with you.
We don't want a man.
Because even though you don't want a man, there's a man who's a flag bearer of your party, and he's not happy about something that's happening.
This is our day.
Why not?
Nana, you said she starts with her. So
yes, with her.
But why should she start?
Is it not your flag bearer who has spoken? You are afraid to defend it.
I mean, this clearly represents the views of all party members.
No, but what Nana is doing alone also speaks to the way she's trying to intimidate me.
Is she
also
intimidating
speaks to what the flag bearer is speaking about.
I'm trying to intimidate.
But I thought it wasn't easy to intimidate you.
Come again.
I thought it wasn't easy to intimidate you.
Me.
You are coming to speak about my glasses.
Because it's a way of showing love sometimes.
I see. But why this statement at this time?
Why not at this time, Bella? It's been 6. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to our viewers. Why not now? When was criminal libel repealed? 2001. How many years now? We are in what? 2026. That's what, 25 years ago? Or 26 years ago? Yes. Nobody in the New Patriotic Party says that when someone falls short of the law, they shouldn't be dealt with. But you are just even going through the number of times that Abronye has been arrested in the last 16 months. And it's always a civil issue. It's not a criminal issue. Yes, if someone falls short of the law must deal with the person. If someone feels aggrieved or feels maligned, slandered or defamed, that's why the law courts are there. But there are also processes to it. I mean, this is a civil matter. But you see, there's also a trend. One, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has every reason to be worried because we are also preparing, we are reorganizing. We are putting our structures in place to prepare for 2028 election. And it's like, at the least comment, your communicators are picked up. Apart from Abronya being arrested yesterday, this Esando was
it's also picked up.
And especially for Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, who in the run-up to 2024 election, we even had people creating images of him, a Muslim, holding pork in a jalab, who was arrested for that. But you see, we can't keep having that conversation of this one did that, this one did that, this one did that. So I refrain from doing that. But it's becoming a trend that anytime this government's back is to the wall, they find a way to arrest someone to cause diversion. What is happening now? Look at the conversation with the games. You don't even know whether it's a spoon of stew or a spoon of gravy or whatever with that rice, no chicken. I mean, 2020, in an era where you are talking about Nkokon and we are being embarrassed. A whole nation is being embarrassed.
You seem to have diverted.
Yeah. I haven't diverted.
Okay.
Those are the issues happening.
How is that linked to the conversation?
Were you listening to me?
Come again.
I said it's becoming a trend that anytime this government has its back to the wall, they've done something toward to embarrass us, they find a way to pick up someone in the opposition just to divert attention. And I'm giving you examples of the issues going on now. The games and the food issues and all the embarrassment. It's national embarrassment. Who is in charge?
So you're talking about embarrassment?
Yes.
But we're talking about free speech here. So that's why I'm trying to understand how this comes in.
Please. Let's listen to the argument I'm making.
I'm listening.
I'm referencing you to the trend that I'm trying to establish. That whenever this government has its back to the wall, they try to do something to divert attention. And I'm giving you examples of the issues happening currently that needs attention from this government. Not conniving to put people, arrest people who are not criminals. So it's not a criminal issue. You just detain them because of what? If we're going to go into insults and those things, I don't think we'll live here. Right. But you have the sports embarrassment. You have this MP of the majority caucus that has been arrested overseas. All these things are happening.
How is
and you want to divert attention?
fault that he's been arrested? And how is that a deliberate way of embarrassing?
How is it the NDC's fault? Who said it's the NDC's fault?
No, but you're talking about them deliberately embarrassing the nation.
Do you know the details of the issue now?
You don't know the details.
Do you know the details of the issue now?
So isn't that
one of the things we should be focusing on? To get the details so we get out of this issue of why was he arrested? How many years has this been going on? And you see, it also brings up the conversation of who goes into our parliament. All those conversations are conversations we should be having. And you think you should just go and arrest someone and divert attention. But the flag bearer of my party, and my flag bearer for that matter, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, has every reason to release the statement that he released. And there's another statement from the party itself. And that is where you establish the trend. Yes, we know that the judiciary was tempered with by this current administration.
Tempered with in what sense?
Of course, the Chief Justice was removed. The Chief Justice was removed for the first time. And it's a blot on the conscience of this country. For the first time, a Chief Justice was removed.
Second time?
Yes. For what?
Akukwasa was removed by
anti-Oda. So a Chief Justice was removed in a very bizarre manner, which is still being battled. So you see, it goes to that perception of having citizens losing interest in our security agencies and our judiciary. The last point of call, where we all feel like this shouldn't be partisan, this shouldn't be political. When I have a case, I should be bold enough to take it to the report to the security agency. When I feel maligned, when I feel slandered. But if we want to create that impression within the minds of citizens that after how many years of repealing criminal libel, 25 or 26 years of doing that, and we still want to create that perception that you won't get a fair or just decision. That is not what we want communicated to citizens.
But in this case, Yes, Auntie,
I know Auntie Rhoda is here, my sister is here, Nanaya is here. They are going to go, and you did this, and you did that, and you did that.
I was even going to ask you about that because
in an era.
The NPP is being accused of selective outrage. Listen, why did you not speak up during your time against some of these issues?
Against what?
Again, hold on. I'm building a point.
Okay.
So when the Muntie 3 were imprisoned as well, I mean, we didn't get these same sentiments coming from the NPP with regards to...
They were jubilating.
Yeah.
Why were the Muntie 3...
But why was Abronye also arrested in this case?
Because a judge said, well, previously there were comments, right?
Against who?
The IGP, right? Nobody is saying that. Like I said, nobody.
There were comments against the IGP. That was separate from comments made against the judge. Why are we linking this arrest with the comments made against the judge to government?
I'm asking you the question because you are bringing in Muntie 3. You are equating what Muntie 3 did.
Nobody's equating, but we're asking you that if people are accusing the NPP, yes, hold on, it was
a female chief justice.
Hold on,
she wasn't a chief justice then. She was a judge.
Whichever way, she ended up being chief justice.
The Muntie 3 also spoke against the judge.
Yes,
they were picked up. They were imprisoned for what, 4 months?
Muntie 3 just didn't speak up against a judge. They threatened a judge, a female judge for that matter.
What did Abronye say about the judge in this matter?
You tell me.
Was it a threat? What did he say? Even if it wasn't a threat, he says that instead of focusing on being a judge, she was rather being a politician. Bella? Why are you linking what is happening to Abronye to the government? That's what I want to understand.
But who is in charge of state machinery? Who is in charge of state machinery?
So the judiciary is not independent?
In charge of state machinery.
Are you saying the judiciary is not independent?
Being held now?
Because they know
where is Abronye being held now?
Where is
Abronye being held now, Bella?
Is the judiciary not independent?
You think that what Abronye said can be equated to threatening?
Nobody's equated, but what I'm asking, Lerato, this morning, hold on.
Technically rape.
Hold on.
A female judge.
Hold on. What I'm asking is that, are you saying that the judiciary is not independent to the extent that if someone makes a statement against the judiciary, it has to take the government of Ghana to now step in and arrest the person?
Where is Abronye being held now?
You're not answering my question, Lerato.
I'm just also asking you so that I can build...
No, answer the question and then we can move on. Because your time is up. I want us to move on to Nanaya. I just wanted you to respond to
this. I'm amazed, especially when there are 5 of us sitting here. And you want to equate.
I'm not equating. I would not let you let that
speak. That is not justifying.
Thank you, Lerato.
That is not justifying what Abronye said. But for you to...
I'm not equating. And I know you are repeating this so that it will stick. It will not stick. Nobody's equating. It's a question I asked. Nanaya, thank you, Lerato. Nanaya,
so
I mean, what do you make of this?
Because you don't want something
No, your time is up.
That's the fact.
Your time is up. Nanaya.
Bella, good morning. Good morning to my sister Lerato. Calm down. Blood pressure is no good. Good morning to...
What does pressure got to do with what you're doing here today?
I miss you. I miss everybody. I've missed you. Good morning. Good morning, all of you. Calm down. Baumia is asleep. Calm down. Bella, greetings to everybody. Greetings to my colleagues at the Flagstaff House, Marietta, Legal Counsel. To Marietta, good morning. Good morning to my military attaché to the Chief of Staff, Colonel Bashir. I always say one of the most handsome military men I've seen. Good morning to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the man who is resetting Ghana and changing the trajectory of the death of decay that the MPP visited on this nation. And good morning to the venerable Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra.
You didn't meet CPP members?
I've spoken to them this morning, and I have my former first vice chair here. And I'm a former general secretary, so we are highly represented. Bella, you see me, I'm amazed that Lerato is talking like this. Do you get me? The people of Ghana, they want MPP people to be jailed. When you are in the streets of Accra, One of the accusations against the government, us, is that we have not jailed people who spent, especially Kenoforiata. People are asking, if they don't know, maybe they are still on their high horse. It is time for the MPP to descend and come to the level where they are to know what Ghanaians are thinking. The days of intimidation, the days of making everybody feel that they are better than them is past. Ghanaians, if they don't know, I want to reiterate into their ears that Ghanaians want MPP to be jailed, especially those who have been found of some kind of corruption. It's an accusation. But Ghanaians don't even care. They think that they have to be jailed. Look, I am happy that His Excellency Bawumia spoke about accountability. It is good that he's writing this because he has said that he will not sleep till he becomes president. And if he will not sleep, he has to continue writing, otherwise he'll fall asleep. Either you read or you write. So, I'm happy that he's talking about the day of accountability. I don't know which of the arrests precipitated this this thing.
The statement?
The statement.
It's both arrests.
Both arrests. You know, criminal libel, they said that they are lawyers and doctors and they are more educated than NDCCPP. They say it every time. But they don't know that even though criminal libel has been expunged, there is also the Electronics Communication Act 208, which says that if you say anything that is not right, that is wrong, the penalty is imprisonment, especially if it impinges on the image of the nation. Do you get me? Investors are coming in. Ghana is on the right trajectory. We have been rated very well. And you go out there in the worldwide media to say that Ghana is in doomsday. But what kind of evidence? That aside, after Abronye's matter, I don't want to talk about it. Accountability. Did he ever tell Abronye to be accountable when he started insulting people? Look, when Abronye was arrested the first time, I don't want to be emotional. I spoke. I said, oh, please, this one, let it be. Oh, Abronye, me, I didn't know him. Open TV, behind the scenes, I begged. Abronye, after he had, somebody told me, Nanaya, this thing that you are doing, Abronye will come back and insult you. I said, oh, it doesn't matter, he's a young man. It is not easy to go to these places. Me, I've been there before. I didn't know him from anywhere. The next moment, Abronye defamed me on his show. So if I had taken Abronye, at that time, that was Bawumia. Me, I am a dog, I'm not a woman. Me, I'm not a woman. You said somebody insulted women, so they should put them in prison. Me, I am not a woman. Abronye defamed me so badly that even as SSS, I was smoking weed. Yes.
Why didn't you take him on?
No, because I was advised that it is okay. From the highest level, I was advised that it attracted the attention of my bosses. Abronye.
No proof.
No evidence that me I smoke weed. Bella, me I don't even know. I don't even take alcohol. You say from SS, you don't know me. I didn't even go to SS. Me, I'm old. I didn't go to SS. I am GCE. Do you get me? Abronye sat on his show and said me I smoke weed. Insulted me. Somebody I can give birth to. How old are you, Abronye? So, Bawumia is talking about counter. At that time, didn't he hear? His people were sharing and laughing. He did not see it. Talking about accountability, does he know what accountability is? Who should be accountable? So they think that they can just insult Ghanaians, defame us. 2016, what didn't they do to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama? Today, what are they not doing? You have lost elections abysmally. You are in denial. You would not sit down and think through the kind of defeat that has met you. You continue making it difficult for Ghanaians to exist. Every day, you are breathing on our necks, you are bellowing, you are shouting. What is it? Are they not even disgraced? Don't they feel ashamed that for where they took Ghana to, today, there is somebody, a party, that has come into power, the NDC government is in power, trying to correct things. Of all the opportunities, somebody has been in power for 1 year and 5 months. You are demanding so much. You were there 8 years. By the end of the day, at the last embers of your reign or your rule, Ghana was in total shambles. You are talking about accountability. When your people are insulting women on social media, what do you, Dr. Baumia, what do you say? What do you stop there? You'll be happy and laughing because you don't want to sleep, because you want power.
But it doesn't mean that if his people are also being picked up, he has no right to speak.
I am telling you that if you talk about accountability, you should also look at accountability from your people. Accountability in the sense that you said somebody is not being intimidated. Verbal abuse is something that can really get to you. I said, Abronye said me, I smoke weed. With so much alacrity and certainty. As if when I'm smoking the weed, I smoke with him. Bella, on his show. And I didn't hear anybody, Lara, to any woman in MPP to say that Abronye, this one is wrong.
Maybe she didn't hear.
So if you don't hear, this one Baumia has heard. He did not hear that Abronye said that a woman who has never taken alcohol smokes weed.
That's for the insults.
Do you get me?
The insults. Won't finish.
No, I am saying that this is not an insult. This is defamation. Straight. You have defamed me. Do you get me? You have destroyed my name in the eyes of right-thinking men.
Nanaya, so is it justified what he's going through at the moment?
What is he going through? He's going to do same. There is a law. Their own Chief Justice, who was doing unanimous FC for them, said the law is the law. The Electronics
Chief Justice or the Chief Justice
the Electronic Communications Act 208 is there. It says that if you say anything against the country, anybody that is untrue, it is punishable by imprisonment. Do you get it? You see, we have laws in this nation. So, Bella, me, when I'm speaking, I'm very, very careful. What somebody's character, I don't know about it. I don't talk about it. You sat there and said somebody smokes weed. Destroyed the person, said I'm mad. I'm crazy. I don't have sense. You said all this. And Baumia didn't hear. And how many people hasn't Abronye just said anything about?
But this statement is not only about Abronye, it's also about David Isando, the Agona West constituency organizer of the NPP. Now, he was also arrested on Monday. And it was because of a statement he made about Dumso and the fact that Dumso is back.
My dear.
That, Nana B, for example, the organizer of the party, is saying does not even make sense. Why pick him up because of this? And at the same time, he says that even when he was picked up, they went to the CID, they went to BNI, Cybercrime Unit, Special Investigations Unit. They still couldn't find him. It was later that they were told where this young man is.
I am even surprised that 2 legs good, 4 legs bad. For the MPP, in the time 2017, there were people who were picked up and their families could not find them. We are not saying that it is state for that. But I'm saying that maybe I acknowledge that it can be very uncomfortable, unnerving, and sometimes you don't know where your loved one is. But maybe that is how the security operatives, they operate.
No.
Because the point, I'm telling you that me, your own person, who is my friend, was looking for me. He came to BNI. He went to everywhere. He didn't know where I was. My big sister didn't know where I was. My brother Kwame didn't know where I was. It was eventually that they found me. So I am telling you that when it is you, it is okay. But when it is somebody else, let it be. If Baumia is talking about accountability, then it should be encompassing. It should be all over. Everybody in Ghana is a city. In your time, you did worse. You are not even apologizing to Ghanaians for what you put us through. As a government, you have never said you are sorry. Your sorry didn't even mean anything. You just said it casually. Casually, the way you say it, because you see, when you are sorry, your body language should even tell us that you are sorry.
Okay.
Do you get me? And you see, if you have a child at home, you need to bring up the child very well so that the child does not get into trouble. When the child goes outside to get into trouble, your words cannot save that child. So you are the leader of the party. You should ensure that your people do things right.
Haji Aminu, I want you to come in on this because clearly, if you listen to Lerato, she's on the side of her flag bearer, rightly so.
But what
that's why I said rightly so. Hold on,
it's good that you have qualified.
Hold on.
Of how they arrested.
Please hold on. Please let Hajia come in so that she can also have her time.
But why didn't you go to court?
Hajia, do you think that it's a fair
go to court about what?
Being made by the
she has no option.
Advised me, I respect. So I was advised.
She has no option but to go with Dr. Bawumia. But for me, it's just pathetic that I saw this statement. I was thinking that Dr. Bawumia will call his house to order first before even issuing the statement. It's been years, and we are all angry at the way, especially Abronye, talks on social media, on the airwaves. What are we teaching our kids? I have said this time and time again. I wish he would even be banned on some of the platforms.
Isn't that extreme?
No.
Is it not a land of free speech?
Yes. Free speech doesn't mean you should go ahead and misbehave because you are free. There is freedom of speech. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of misbehavior. Everybody has to be disciplined. Before, if you go and misbehave in town, it's your family members that will be traced and even tagged. You were not trained properly. So if Dr. Bawumia's household is always disrespecting people, he should call them to order. You will not hear people disrespecting from United Party. You will not see anybody from Alan Chemantin's cap disrespect anybody. It's hardly to see NDC people disrespect. CPP has been known to be a very patriotic party. So if we are talking about a whole nation and our youth, we should teach them to respect law and be orderly. We should learn how to be true patriotic citizens of Ghana. What are we teaching our youth? I always say that I have children. What are my kids learning on TV? Is it because of politics we have to come and be disrespecting ourselves left and right? Does Abroye Nye has that right that he always has his money and airtime to buy data and come and sit on social media and be disrespecting people? Why didn't Dr. Bawumia call him to order at that time?
We wouldn't know if he probably called him to order privately.
He should have also written a press release. When I was on Dr. Bawumia's neck to tell Ken Oforiatta to come back to Ghana, he didn't even respond to all these pleas we were asking for. If it's about accountability, Ghanaians are waiting for that accountability. We want to see Dr. Bawumia fight against corruption. We want to see Dr. Bawumia come and tell us that, yes, I managed the economy wrongly because I had the key and I couldn't arrest the dollar. Ghanaians are all watching. We are all watching. There was times that activists were being arrested. These freedom fighters who were fighting against Galamsey.
Anti-Galamsey, yes.
Look at how they were treated. I remember I was part of the people who went around looking for them. And we were not finding them because they were being placed in different police stations. If you go here the next day, they were not there. Even when they were brought to court, I was on TV requesting, why didn't they allow us to even give them water to drink? They were deprived of their own rights as citizens of Ghana. Where was Dr. Bawumia at that time? Where was he? That time he was in government. Why didn't he release a press statement to condemn that act? So why is it that it has to be certain times you have to keep quiet? And because it's his MPP members
He's now voicing out no. We've seen time and again, it's not attacks. We are not attacking any political party, but what is not right yesterday cannot be right today.
I like that.
Okay.
Since we are fighting against it and we have youth, and we are responsible leaders, there are youth, Ghanaian youth, they're watching us, who also wants to be responsible leaders like us. Then we should be responsible ourselves.
All right. Auntie Rhoda, so as a result, the organizer of the NPP, Nana B, he says that they are going to hold a mammoth demonstration over this issue because they cannot continue to be harassed. They need to be given the space to speak freely because this is a democracy and that should be allowed. What do you say to that?
I'd like to say good morning to our cherished viewers and good morning to us around this table. It's their constitutional right. Mammoth, mini, minor, whatever rally they want to have, demonstration, they're free to have it. That's their constitutional right. Nobody's going to stop them from doing that. Bella, the politics of insults and abuse has been going on for quite a while. And we have to look at the genesis of it. From 1992, all through Rawlings, what was it like? The insults, maybe social media was not active, so we couldn't actually keep track. Then we got to President Kufuor, a statesman, for me. Very calm, well-brought-up gentleman. We didn't hear anything. Then we came to Asumdwe Hene. We heard nothing. Atamils, the insults that he had was do little. You know, those are witty things that happen politically all around the world. You can say those kinds of things. And then we got to a situation where it came to John Mahama after Atamils. Then it all started. Who started it and where? It started from Bawomia's door. Incompetent Mahama. Cast your mind. That was the beginning of major insults in this country. And it came from his doorstep. At the end of it, it is not a good thing. It's not right for anyone to insult a leader. So we have both parties insulting their leaders. One says, oh, Akufo-Addo killed his wife. Another says, oh, Mahama was found in bed with a maid. You understand? These are personal attacks that we should not have accepted. And those leaders involved did not take those things up because they thought that those were spoils of the situation. It's politics. But what are we seeing today? The insults have become so institutionalized that people get rewarded for insulting, which is wrong. So you go onto social media, you just make a comment, and then, excuse my language, they start insulting your mother and your great-grandfather and your everybody. And no one is stopping these things. Leaders of political parties are not stopping it. We are all sitting down and watching. These days, you just don't want to come out with a statement, especially when you're a woman, then you are a shower. At once, you are a shower. You understand? You read comments from people who normally would not even have the audacity to come close to you to say a word. But because it's social media, because it's liberalization of speech, everybody speaks. I am surprised that Dr. Bawumia has had the voice to come out.
You're surprised?
I am surprised because you know what? They were killing people between Boko and Wali Wali. And we were calling out to him to come out and make a statement and just say, my cousins and my brothers, stop the fight. He never came out. He was quiet, mute, till this day. You understand? It wasn't just one sector. They were killing Mapusis, they were killing Kusasis. Both sides were fighting. You should have come out at that time even to say that, my people, just keep quiet. Please, lay down your arms. You are all related. Let us talk. He never came out and said one word. Even when people were saying he should come out and say something, he never said it. But when they arrested someone, one person, he now had strength to be able to come out and make a statement. What is that? Is that leadership?
But if he had remained quiet continuously, would we not be the same people calling him out?
Why didn't the leadership of the party come out with that statement? Why should it be him?
Is he not the flag bearer?
He is the flag bearer, but the leadership of the party could have also come out with that statement. I think that this whole thing is left to the leadership of political parties to call their members to order, because it is getting out of hand. And maybe people do not know. At the end of the day, what it does is polarization. It threatens our democracy. And for some people who think, I keep saying that, look, the majority of the youth of Ghanaians have never seen a coup d'etat before. And it looks like they are yearning for violence. Because that is what happens when you bring ethnicity, you bring religion, and all those things into politics. You are actually brewing up a pot of violence. And no one is telling them to stop it. These days, you just open up social media and it's all about ethnicity, about tribe. Then the next thing is about religion. And this person eats pork. And this person is not a good Christian. And this person is not that. All those things are things that we should not be allowing for it to simmer in this country. It is the responsibility of chiefs to also come out and speak against it. That we should stop insulting. We should stop doing all manner of things that would bring this country down to its knees. We are the only country in West Africa so far that I can think of that hasn't had proper civil strife like a civil war. You understand? And we don't want it. But when we talk about judicial abuse, executive influencing all manner of things, hey, it cuts both ways. No one party is innocent. It's something that happens everywhere. When they were in power, when the MPP was in power, some people even went to church to go and arrest people. You understand? Some people.
So it was wrong then, and it's wrong now.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just saying that it's not one side. It's wrong. We shouldn't allow it.
So we shouldn't be seeing what we're seeing today with regards to how these other individuals from the opposition party are being arrested.
Are we seeing anything that is not following due process and procedure?
Well, they're saying that there's an unholy collaboration between the executive and the judiciary.
Is there any evidence that shows?
And state security?
Is there evidence, Bella, that shows that there is such? Is there evidence that shows that there is such? Is it that you have gone and seen that the executive has gone into a meeting and said that go and arrest all MPP people? Have they arrested them and done anything that is untoward? But process and procedure? You see, sometimes because of the free speech, like W.O. Frimpong would say, free speech means free assassination, you know, that kind of thing. So at the end of the day, you must speak responsibly. The fact that you can speak doesn't mean that you should just go and blab anything at all that comes out of your mouth and think that everybody should take it as it is. No. People get hurt by the utterances that are set out by these people. And that is one thing that we must know. I mean, the fact that you are a political head or a political figure doesn't exonerate you from crime.
Okay.
And you shouldn't think that because I am I'll get people to come out. And somebody says, let the person, Maninka, let him insult, let him do this. We will come and defend. What I come to defend? And for those people who sit back and they keep telling them, go and do it because we'll come and defend you, you will end up in Sawam alone. In that prison cell, at the police headquarters, nobody's going to come there. And your wife, your children, your family will be the only people who will be suffering. So let us as a country make it a point that from now on, we will not disrespect our leaders. We will not insult people, denigrate people, malign people when we don't have evidence.
Okay.
That's the whole idea. So for me, I don't see anything happening that has not happened before. But if they think that there is something that is happening that must be corrected, let us all correct it.
Okay.
And from going forward, let's say that from now on, let us not do it, even when they should come. Because from the speeches and from the mails that are coming out, it means that if you do it now, there is a what? A day of reckoning, which means that when we come, we'll also do the same. I will not allow you to come and do the same.
And that's the problem. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I will not allow you to come and do the same.
Has anybody said
Larato?
Yes.
No, I was coming to me. No, she started first, so it's just fair that when I start again, I go to her.
Bella, when I started,
yes,
when I started talking, of course, because this one is obviously 3 against 1.
It's not.
It is not.
Larato, I'll let you hold on just briefly.
It's not really.
Just
you are
briefly.
calling a man.
He's already on. So it's
we don't want the man.
I understand, but he's been waiting, so it's quite unfair. Let me just give him a few minutes to speak very briefly on this.
That is our time.
I understand. We will give it to yes, we will add it to your time. All right. Well, thank you, sir, for staying with us, and so sorry for keeping you waiting. But what do you make of the statements released by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? And also, again, we have the government spokesperson for the NDC saying that this is selective outrage, because why was he silent when the same thing was happening to the opposition NDC at the time when the MPP was in power?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. At the same time, greetings to the specialities out there. It's politics, and that is what has been going on for some time now. I think Rodelyn, as I was listening to her, gave how things evolved. And I think we have not been fair to ourselves, where we tend to look at how we have been groomed in terms of insult, where we are not able to manage it in such a way that it's getting out of hand. And there's no government or no political party that can exclude themselves for using this situation of insults as a political strategy. When you look at our politics, it's a political strategy that some members of the parties involved have to use. And it has worked for them. And that is why people think that it can also continue to use it. And that is when there are new laws governing these insults. That is where the issue about how to adjust and how to get involved to ensure that there's sanity. But that is where I would like all of us to be cautious about how we manage some of these things, especially on social media. Social media comes along with its own nature, its own dynamics, and its own ways of handling some of these things. Even though there are some laws governing how social media, but it's a platform that people tend to use it for on their own self, because the moment they get a phone, you just go there and then make any kind of insult or maybe deliberate acts. But if care is not taken, where people can even also move outside the country, where even if they are being catered for the social media in terms of whatever they say, they will tend to use it again. So as the government of the day, or let's say the governance system, want to clamp down on how social media will try to handle these insults and other things, you also have to be very careful. But the option for some of these people is to go outside the country and throw the missiles, and that one is even more dangerous than even if they are here, because that place you cannot get them, and they will tend to say things that, excuse me to use the word, that is bad for all of us. So I think that we need to be cautious about how we handle some of these things. If not, the opponent on those victims will tend to use another option, and that will be more dangerous to our democracy in terms of tarnishing people's image and also trying to bring people down. And it's part of us. That is a culture. And we need time and stakeholders to stop some of these. I think when some of us, because we go there, because we lecture, we go, and sometimes the things that you will be saying, and Rodelyn was mentioned, we talk about religion, we talk about rights. Even on radio, you cannot just say some of these things, but social media, you see people attacking others, chiefs, politicians. We can't even mention their names because for them they have been using it. But when it comes to chiefs, you come to others, you realize that the way we have been doing it is something that it has been on court.
All right.
And it's politics. That is why Dr. Bawumia came in. And it's politics. So I would say it's politics. And when there's a change in government, another person also come in and also use that. But we should be very careful about weaponizing state institutions when political parties are in power to use it against their opponents.
Mr. Fiye, so just quickly before I let you go, for example, David Esando, he made a post on Facebook about the fact that Dumso was back. And for some reason, he was picked up. Is that enough reason to get picked up?
Oh, I think, my dear, this is not an issue to just pick up. Because the things, if you say Dumso is back and it's not back, why do you have to go and pick it? These are things, these are petty things, I think it has, when he said that, it didn't affect the government. Did it affect whoever that was in charge? Dumso and those things. And I think Mahama could have arrested a lot of people when we tag him doing so, is this, he's a doing so man. You know, these things are part of social media. And I think when those things were said, I think that is what he said. There's not denigrate or even the government or whatever, did not bring cause or whatever. Saying that, I think most of even the government in power, most of them don't agree for even someone writing or saying that Dumso is back. And Dumso is back and it's not back, and there are issues, there are people around. I don't think that we should go to that. That's why I'm saying that we have to be very careful when some state institutions, and you know, sometimes it might not come from the government or even the state institutions. Some of them will take certain actions that we even blame on these politicians. So I think we have to be clear on that. These things are trivial, and we are not supposed to go there about trying to tell.
Is that what we are seeing? Is that what we are seeing at the moment, where a judge has allegedly been defamed, and the person, you know, in the center of all this is going through the rigors of the law, and yet the NPP assumes or is alleging that there's a collaboration between the judiciary and the executive to punish this person, even though this is affecting a judge who may be or who is independent?
You know, tagging the judiciary has been a strategy. I'm talking from the political perspective, you know, and it's a strategy that sometimes they tend to use it to tag them in a way to handle their cases in a different form or whatever. So these things has been there. All political parties, especially the NDC and the MPP, they tagging the judiciary in a way that, but I will be one of those that will not condone such behaviors. Because you know, sometimes when you build your career, when you build your integrity, and someone will just use some few seconds just to tarnish your image, I think that one should not be accepted.
All right.
So the due process should follow.
All right.
People who can defame people who tend to denigrate others should follow the law. But you know, we're supposed to do it in a civil manner that will not be described as being victimized or trying to intimidate others. Let's be fair. Let's use the due process. Let's use it, and so that we all have peace of mind. That will cover all of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Friye, for speaking to us. He's a political analyst. But let me come back to you, Lerato, because across the board, they have stated examples of incidences that led to the denigration and the defamation of, you know, government officials under the NPP. And similar things were done to them. They were arrested. Anti-galamseyers, for example, they were not given initially a right to have their lawyers see them. And I remember that on this platform, we spoke to a number of their lawyers, and they all complained bitterly about not even being given the chance to see their clients, to even understand what charges had been leveled against them, etc. And that's not the only case. There have been a number of instances. So why stay silent at that point and suddenly come out to speak now, and you think that's fair?
Well, you know, when I started speaking and I wanted to make examples with what is existing in the country now, you told me that was not what we are talking about. But Nanaya went into the realms of defeat. My sister here went into the...
realms of defeat?
Yes, she spoke about defeat and how Dr. Bawumia didn't say sorry in one breath and another breath his sorry wasn't sincere. My sister went into the realms of only MPP people insult. Auntie went on and on, even bringing issues in Boko and all that. You see, the point we all agree to is that what was wrong yesterday is wrong today. What was all the things that you're talking about now? What was the position of Dr. Bawumia when all these things were happening? For the purpose of the argument, he was Vice President of the Republic, right? Part of the government.
He was a bit.
People were not happy with things that happened during that our administration. What happened to us? Where have we been in the last 16 months? In opposition, right? If we want to go into talking about insults, none of us here, including you, even your weight at a point was used against you, wasn't it? Nanaya is talking about someone saying she smokes weed. Some of us have been accused of, as for the prostitute, every woman in politics or in public service owns it. Because if you don't own it, because a woman cannot work hard and get to, people that even don't know you, people that cannot even string a proper sentence together, I'll come and call you stupid. You get it? But there's insults, which fundamentally is not a crime in this country by our laws. But when it goes into the realms of slander, defamation, and the like, it's a crime, right? But these are civil issues. What is Dr. Bawumia talking about? That, and this is not the first time in the last 16 months someone has been arrested. Look at the kind of bail conditions that are being given. Look at the kind of conditions that people are being put on. And what are we all saying? What was wrong yesterday is wrong today.
So why didn't he speak up then?
Why didn't you speak up?
Can
you say for a fact that he didn't speak up?
Did he speak up when the anti-Galamseyers were being treated
because he didn't make a public
unfairly?
statement, we assume. So let's assume.
So you tell
let's
us.
Assume,
maybe
Bella,
you are in his circle, so you'd understand
let's
what he said.
assume, without admitting that he didn't say anything. He was mute. He was quiet about it. So he shouldn't say something today. It bars him from saying something today.
It doesn't bar him, but does it not make him look a bit
are we
hypocritical?
supposed to be? What did
because at the time when it favored his party, he was silent on it. But now that it's going against his own party members, he seems to have found his voice, which is the concern.
I'm told you let everyone flow and you ask me
I'm sorry if I'm interjecting, but I'm just asking you this question.
Especially when I'm in opposition.
Hold on, Lerato.
We suffer this in government and we are still suffering.
Don't worry, you're my sweetheart, but I'm just asking you this question.
So let me, she is. Nanaya is just jealous.
But Lerato, if you can just respond to this question.
Bella, what I'm saying is, what are we supposed to be doing? When you go into opposition, what are you supposed to do? You reflect on what led to your defeat. So now, the things that you accused us of, you are doing worse of it, especially when you promised us a reset. So what's the meaning of the reset this government promised us? The reset is to rewind to what caused our defeat or what has happened since 1992. We just say reset for a reset case. Yes, we all agree on this. And I believe that discerning viewers also agree that the insults is too much. It's like now you can't even ask. You can't even ask a question. And they are not dealing with the issue. They are dealing with your person. And Nana has done same. She made a statement about Dr. Bawumia as a person, not the issue that
as a person.
Yes,
on this platform right now.
Yes. Bella, I'm surprised. I'm sorry.
No, I'm very trying
to. But
did I say he smokes weed?
But he's sending.
Did I say he smokes weed?
He felt very strong about this statement.
This is what
you should have gone to court.
This is what I was going to talk about.
Please let me land and I'll let you come.
Already you have. Don't worry, when you don't finish, Hajia will continue for you. Auntie Rhoda will finish for you. Me, I'm alone here. So I beg you, let me make my.
They are all here representing various groups. So they are not together, Lerato.
Bella, so now I can't even state an opinion.
No, I'm just telling you because I also don't want us to put that information out there to make it look like
some of the things
they came here together.
You felt so strong about the statement that was made against
you. Which is insulting me.
Which is unfortunate.
Instead of saying sorry on behalf of her party, you see she's insulting.
Did my party insult you?
But who is Abronya? Abronya represents your party. How can you come and sit here?
What are you even
How
saying?
can you come and sit here and tell me that if I felt strongly?
If you felt strongly about it,
because you see,
go. The judge in this case, the judge in this case felt that what was said against him went far. He's going through the process. That's what I'm saying.
So he's going to the process. Why are we saying that this is a collaboration between the judge and the executive?
It's justifiable.
A civil thing. You have to remand him for 2 weeks. In a civil
but you and I cannot sit here and make that decision for the judge.
That's what I'm saying. So
the judge may have looked at the laws.
Yes, there are laws. The law is the law.
And I believe in killing a housefly with a bulldozer, but that's fine. Right? That's fine. That's a right. But to say that if you felt strongly about it, that is not demeaning what you that has been said to you. It's not demeaning it. But if you felt strongly about it, you should have taken it on. But if we all agree, especially in this era, that the government of the day promised us a reset. Reset of what? Yes, we all agree that our moral fiber is almost gone. I mean, gone are the days that I see Auntie Rhoda. I need to be careful how I even talk to her. But people now get up, who were not even born when she was done with the university, are insulting her. You get it? So where do we draw the line? And whose responsibility at this point in time? I believe it's the government, because it controls state apparatus.
Okay.
These are the observations we made. And it's just not limited to a Sando or Abronya's detention yesterday. It's happened. You remember when how Sir Obama, my own brother, was picked up and how he was treated. You've seen a number. Look at the kind of bail conditions that are being given. It's just like asking for someone's heart to give them, and bail cannot be weaponized. Bail is not something that you use to penalize people.
Okay.
You get it? So those are the things that we are saying. So if we all agree, the government must lead this reset of moving us back to where our morals were priority. That's why Auntie Rhoda saying the insult started from our. Please, we can go on and cite example. We can sit here the whole day. I'm sure probably when I even do, we do a say, we'll probably get words that Nanaya has used on people before, because she's been in this space longer than some of us have been. So what is it? What was wrong yesterday is wrong today.
Okay.
Shouldn't it be raised? It must be raised.
All right.
And who less a person that a flag bearer who is lacing his boots as the alternative to this government in 2022.
I'll just take you back to 2022 when I remember that journalist Bobia Ansan was also arrested under the NPP. Yes. And lawyer Eduji Tamaklo at that time spoke. And I'll just quote what he said, because he didn't think that it was fair for Bobia Ansan to be picked up the way he was. So he said that if a journalist makes a publication against you and that publication is false, you have the right to do a rejoinder. So assuming even without admitting that there's a false publication against the First Lady, the way forward is not criminal investigations. If she thinks that she has been defamed as a private citizen, she can sue Bobia and the media house for defamation. Why make it a criminal matter? This was his concern at that time. Should that, if that's the case, and I know you probably might say that that was his personal opinion at the time, but in that case, can we not also have this play out at this time?
That is the personal opinion of a lawyer, looking at the law in two different ways.
But he's a key member of the NDC.
Please, there are laws. You see, I always say that if the law does not get you in this trap, you think there are no laws. In Ghana, there are different kinds of laws for different kinds of situations. The point is even that we have not even found out why these people were picked up. The reasons. Have we found out? We just said that they should not be picked up because ABC, this is...
Who exactly? Abronye?
The two people.
Well, for Abronye, so yesterday I was listening to Nana B, and he says that per the charge sheet, the first count is offensive conduct conducive to the breach of peace. That was count 1. And it was because Abronye DC had said, and I quote, that you are not a judge, but rather a politician. You have covered your head with a sack and claim you are a judge. And
you have covered your head with a sack. That is an insult. How can you stand in front of a judge and tell that judge that he has covered his head with a sack? Even when we were getting the unanimous FC, we never described anybody as a politician. Today, it is not like that, and you stand before a judge and said you have covered your head with a sack. That alone is defamation. He has covered it. Do you know what a sack is? So it's not a human being, it's a caricature. If you enter your room right now and somebody is standing there with a sack on his, won't you run away? Even if it's your mother, you will not look at your mother's cloth. The sack on the head of your mother will let you run away. So Abronye is telling that judge that he or she is a caricature. Do you get me? So that is what it is. You have read it. You see, you have concluded the matter.
How have I concluded?
You have put a sack on your face and you call yourself a judge. You're a caricature and you think you're a judge. That is what it means. Do you get me? So now this person, a judge, an honorable judge, I am just defining what it means in the eyes of right-thinking men. You know what?
You are repeating it.
You know, I mean, you have concluded the matter. Let's not discuss it again. MPP, when you are magnanimous with them,
make it about MPP.
Do you get me? You are magnanimous. They do not appreciate your magnanimity. They rather insult you and insinuate.
Is that not unfair to say the NPP? So you are generalizing.
I am not. The NPP is a group. Anybody who belongs. Don't you say that government and you look at my face.
But there are people within the NPP.
I am saying that when you say government, don't you look at my face?
Yeah, because you're a president.
I am in government, so when you look at my face and you say that I do not say that government is big. Responsibility is collective. That is why today, Laratu is sitting here defending Dr. Bawumia. I am saying that this is the view of the NPP, that I didn't go to court. I want to tell them that I was asked not to do so by my boss. I will repeat it because he has done it, and he does it to people with impunity, and you are always there.
Always where?
Your people don't say a word. They don't stop him. They don't check him. But because somebody has been magnanimous, so then he doesn't respect hierarchy. Because if you are correcting him and he continues insulting people, then Dr. Bawumia has no business writing this press statement.
But
because
Nanaya, when you advise not to do something, like
Larato, please let Nanaya speak. When she was interjecting, when you were speaking, I asked her to keep quiet. So please.
What am I repeating? The people said that he said it. Me, I haven't heard this part. So I am saying that this is concluded.
And so it's justified that he's
how can you stand in front of a judge? The judge has rules. So even in the Bible, they tell you that before you stand before the judge, make peace with the person you have insulted. And now is the judge who is going to judge you. You are insulting him or her. That's why you finish your case. It's like standing before God and insulting God. I am not equating the judge to God, but at a point you are going to stand before the throne room and give judgment. God will give you judgment, ask you what you did. Do you get me? So I am yes, accountability to start from him. If Dr. Bawumia is talking about accountability, he should start from him. Do you get me? How can you stand there? No, but I'm saying that he has a group that he's leading. If you have a group that you are leading and they are misbehaving, it has been overflogged. Everybody has said that. And you are not checking them. How can you become a president and check the whole nation? When you become president, can you check us? Can you let us do the right thing? Because this small group that you are leading, that they are scattered, you cannot even make sure that they do the right thing. How can you make sure that the laws of Ghana work? Look, there are ways of making sure that people don't misbehave. We don't know all the laws. We don't know all the practices. You might condemn it, but we don't know even what is behind the scenes when it comes to the work of the security. So I am saying that sometimes I want us to go further. There are journalists. For journalists, me when I was practicing journalism as a young girl, I was about 18 years. I used to go to the National Security. It was even the time of Rollins.
To do what exactly?
To get information.
Okay.
On issues that have come up.
And they divulged?
Yes, they divulged. I'll go with my ID.
Okay.
Then I'll sit down, come back and write my story with the perspective of what I know, not even saying exactly what I found. So if any journalist wants to go to National Security today, wherever he was arrested, to get further particulars about the case, I do not think that anybody will stop them.
Okay.
That is the immunity we have as journalists. We can enter anywhere. It makes your story richer. So there's nothing wrong with finding out. But I'm saying that as for the NPP, they should understand that they have just messed up. They are continuing to mess up. They are not being nice and friendly. Do you get me? They are not being nice to us at all. Because they continue insulting us. They continue talking to us anyhow. But the point is that government, we are resetting this nation. If you have a problem with the reset, because you see, you are talking about people who have been arrested. Please, the people who have been arrested, it is upon what? Bella, tell me, some of them suspicion of corruption. Do you understand me? Money that has been taken, that is missing after a forensic audit. That's when we shouldn't arrest them. I am asking, if somebody takes your money, don't you arrest them? Don't you report to police and police will arrest? So they are mixing the two. The people who have been arrested, who have been given bail conditions, they are suspected of taking our money. And Ghanaians don't want them to even go through any process. Oh, they want the government to jail them if they don't know. That's why I'm saying that magnanimity, they disrespect magnanimity.
Let me move on to Hajia at this point, and quickly let me read a few messages. So, Sir Kobe, good morning to you, and to all of you who are watching us on Facebook and sharing messages as well. I've seen a lot of them. I wish I could read all of them. Unfortunately, time will not allow. But Sir Kobe says, please let Lerato know that Ghana has improved in the Press Freedom Index from around 70 to now 39. So the reset agenda is on. Okay. Zachary Akibu says Dr. Bawumia is 100% well aware of Abronye's misbehavior, and he supports it since the NPP leadership primaries. Just deliberately ignores when he. Well, they deliberately ignored when he was attacking Honorable Kennedy in Japan as well. Okay. And then just avoid what will cause arrest. Simple. That's Mamaga MFA. Efo Yasuto says Abronya went to the extent of insulting men of God like Archbishop Duncan William, and also insulted John Mahama, the president, the first lady, our vice president, and co. Okay, I won't read the rest of it because you are not a judge. You will not determine the punishments that anyone should get. But also, well, someone says, don't you love Nanaya? She will not be gagged. Okay, interesting. Good morning to you, Dr. Notedria. It's good to hear from you this morning. Yes, lost and found, I'm back. He says that, is it not interesting that the NPP feels alone in the studio today?
But we've always been alone in the studio.
Have you always been?
Even in
on Monday, the NDC was also accusing us, or was it on Tuesday? Accusing us that they had only one rep as against
6 days.
As against 3. So
1 out of 6 days.
It's not 1 out of 6 days.
No.
Let me let me go to Hajia.
Paparo on set as well.
Let me get to Hajia.
Why? This is defamation. Oh.
They left too. They left.
You left. You left. They're coming to disturb us.
They left. And you decided to come back.
Hajia, when I'm being accused of helping Nanaya, she at least expects that I'll come and campaign and talk for UP. We have the great transformational plan. That is all. Afafran top and even in our great transformational plan, the GTP, after resetting, we have to transform. Page 74, you will see everything here. And our Chief Alan has talked about it. Respect for law and order, patriotism, attitude to work, which Ghanaians are not good at. The arrogance of power. This is where I like
arrogance.
Where the arrogance of power.
The arrogance is still there.
Because if Dr. Bawumia came out as a former, this is not TV. I'm talking for United Party. Yellow. Everybody, Ghanaians are watching, and they are now aware that NDC and MPP should be put aside. Take UP, which have core values.
It's here. Does your book say anything on the issue of freedom of speech and how it should be addressed?
It talks about respect for law and order
and human rights.
It's here. All thriving democracies and matured economies are anchored on respect for law and order. For our economy to go on and work properly, we should hammer on law and order. Then the arrogance of power. NDC comes, we are in power. We are Oga, we are doing it. MPP comes, we are in power. Now we are going to cut off those feathers that they are using to fly. We are cutting them off. We are bringing UP to power. So that they know that if you come to power and you are arrogant, you are going to be in opposition very soon.
It is the wings of the MPP that should be cut.
So MPP should stay calm. Now they are out of power. Now they can't go arresting people. They can't be saying the incompetent somebody. They cannot be doing the names calling. And it's high time we put a stop to it as a nation. Because our youth are watching. We are mentoring people.
The youth are doing it.
They are even doing it. Yes, they are learning. And just like Madam Rodelin said, they are even attacking chiefs and responsible people in the communities, which is not right at all. We should try and put a stop to it. And some of these people, just like I said from the beginning, Bawumia should call his house to order. I know why I'm hammering on it.
Why? Tell us.
There was an issue of our first lady, our mother, my mother, Mama Pat, being disrespected by Mrs. Baumia, Samira. It was even on Hobson, Honorable Hobson came out and was attacking that thing that she
was
did.
Disrespected?
She was disrespected.
Oh.
In public, greeting everybody. When he got to Auntie Pat's 10, she didn't greet her.
Was it deliberate or maybe it was just an oversight?
Even myself, I was there.
Oh.
And it's not fair.
But did you address it privately? I mean, did anyone reach out to her to find out
why would we even?
Well, I'm just asking.
Sometimes
maybe it was an oversight.
You respect yourself so much that you ignore certain things.
Okay.
You can't be a dog always going to bark. You ignore certain things. Our mother is so matured enough that she realized that this shouldn't be entertained. So he should call his house to order. There are certain things during the primaries, they were attacking each other, insulting each other, and we didn't even hear him come out to say, no, put a stop to this. We are watching. We want Ken back. Baumia should bring a press statement and plead with Ken to come back home.
Which of the Kens? There are plenty Kens.
Be
specific.
Ken Oforiata to come home. Stop the labalibili in outside the country and come back.
Okay.
That is accountability. That is a leader that we want. Who will fight against corruption? That is what we want. He shouldn't be siding because it's his political party members. During the activism in the old the Galamsey operator, there were MPP people part of the demonstrators, but he didn't even come out to say anything. You see, so we are all eager to see a fair Baumia, not a one-sided person who will always think about only his political party members.
Okay. Well, let me just read this quickly. I know our time is up. I have to give Madam Rhoda time to also speak as well. But if you look at the Electronic Communications Act, at 76(1), it says that a person who by means of electronic communication service knowingly sends a communication which is false or misleading and likely to prejudice the efficiency of life-saving service or to endanger the safety of any person, ship, aircraft, vessel or vehicle commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not more than 3,000 penalty units or to a term of imprisonment of not more than 5 years or both. Yes. That's for the Electronic Communications Act. Now, when you look also at the Criminal Offences Act 208, publication of false news, it says that a person who publishes or produces a statement, rumor or report which is likely to cause fear and alarm to the public or disturb the peace, the public peace, knowing or having reason to believe that the statement, rumor or report is false, commits a misdemeanor. And it is not a defense to charge under subsection 1 that the person charged did not know or did not have reason to believe that the statement, rumor or report was false, unless it is proved that prior to the publication, that person took reasonable measures to verify the accuracy of the statement, rumor or reports. And so for those of you who are asking those questions about the law, I've just put it out there for you.
But
let Madam Rhoda also speak on this. Time is up, so give her the chance to speak. Let her have a time so I can wrap up because my director is counting it down.
I always like to back into history because that is how we learn, right? And I just want to say that we've had first ladies, we've had second ladies in this country. I can, from my own experience, say that we never heard anything from Mrs. Kufuor. She was so quiet. We never heard anything from Mrs. Mills. These were all people who were first ladies and stuff. We never heard anything, actually, when it came to Mrs. Emisata, apart from them doing their usual things. But for the first time, I'm answering Dr. Baumia. For the first time, a second lady who holds no public office was able to attack a certain president, that he was incompetent. And that carried on. And that started that whole thing because everybody was angry at the fact that she could even say that, to the extent that for some of us who are coming from the north, we felt that she had no right to attack a man. The fact that John Mahama, first is a northerner, And then her even saying that, yes, it is true. Wouldn't she say that John Mahama was incompetent?
But she said that during the campaign, ahead of them coming into power.
She was second lady. And I'm saying that she was second lady to MPP. She didn't hold any public office. This is what I'm saying. She didn't hold any public office. Her husband is now complaining of things that abuse staff. And I'm saying right under his nose, his wife was doing it to a sitting president. You understand? And so if he wants to talk, he should start from his home by telling her to also stick to her position as opposition second lady and not double into governance or whatever affairs. Do you get what I'm saying? But then let's look at it this way. We've come full circle. We've come full circle. The insults and all those things, they are out there. What do we do?
It was an outlier.
It is now left for us as political leaders and as opinion leaders to be able to talk to the youth and to talk to ourselves also. We should also behave, show by example. That means not insulting. That means not going out of our way to do things that will ask for the security agencies to come for us. So don't do things that you don't have evidence on. Don't say things you don't have evidence on. And let us just, as one country, because this whole thing that is happening, we may be looking at it as if it's a simple thing. But when you go on social media, what is happening in this country is frightening. It is very frightening because we are taking the ethnicity, we are taking the religion, we are taking all those things too far. And it's going to affect us. And this politics of tribalism, politics of we must stop.
All right.
We must all be careful how we speak. We should all be careful how we speak and say the right things.
All right. Thank you very much. And also, just to put out there as well that on the 5th of May, the Press Freedom Index details came out, and Ghana rose to 39th position out of 180 countries in the 2020. Please hold on, I'm reading. In the 2026 Reporters Without Borders World Press Freedom Index. World Press Freedom Index. So we rose to 39th position. It marks a notable recovery from 52nd position in 2025 and reaffirms Ghana's standing as one of Africa's more resilient media democracies where constitutional promise and lived reality continue to negotiate an evolving balance. So on that note, our time is, I should have gone further. You want the other details as well. 2022 we're 60th. And then we slipped further to 62nd in 2023. We came to 50th in 2024, went to 52nd in 2025. And now we're 39th in 2026. I wanted to put that out. But thank you so much. My director is counting me down.
We've done well.
I apologize.
Okay.
Yes. But thank you all so much for joining us. And to those of you watching on social media as well, I'm sorry I could not read all your messages. But the big issue is sponsored by the University of Gold Coast. Whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you want to advance through a dual MBA or Chartered Manager MBA, University of Gold Coast gives you options that match your vision. And if your next step is an MSc in International Relations, Communications, International Marketing, International Law, Security Diplomacy, Accounting, Finance, or Human Resource Management, an LLM in International Law, Security Diplomacy, or an A in Biblical Studies, Practical Theology, then the pathway is open. Apply today, because at University of Gold Coast, we make it practical, flexible, flexible learning, flexible entry, and flexible payments. Study around your work and life, choose a route that fits your background, and pay in convenient installments. Your dream deserves structure. Your future deserves strategy. Your purpose deserves training. Apply now at www.ugc.edu.gh or call them or WhatsApp on 026 388 8555. Again, 026 388 8555. University of Gold Coast, building leaders for the nations. A big thank you to my guests in the studio this morning, Lerato Musasaka, MPP Comms team member, Nanaya Chimpimjanto as a presidential staffer, Hajia Gloria Amenu is a national women's organizer for United Party, and Madame Rodelyn Imoru Ayana, public interest advocate. Also on Zoom, we had Mr. Samuel Efriye, political analyst. We'll be back with more. This is TV3 Newday.
bluntly, this has been at the start a shambolic organization so far by the Ministry of Sports, the organizing committee as well. Tell us your experiences.
I think it's been a bit messy, if I can use that word, in terms of the organization. And from the very word start, you could see that things were not put in place well, especially with the accommodation of athletes and the welfare. I mean, even on the track itself, we didn't have a timer for athletes to know.
There was no timer.
There was no timer.
So how were they checking their time?
Well, it was the officials who were around who calculated on their phones and all that. People had to use their tablets to capture to know who was first, who was second. All these issues
on the line.
On the line, and for journalists, a lot of complaints as well. In the media zone, there's no internet. They are complaining about how they are unable to send things back home because this is a continental event. So we have other nationals also representing. And to top it all, yesterday was a very disappointing time for Ghana, honestly, because we thought, I mean, the 100-meter race, men's race, could actually bring us some medals. Yesterday, it didn't happen. The Ghana's fastest man, Saminu, was in the final, and to the shock of everyone, he even finished 6th. A lot of things are happening, and I'm glad that this morning we have Bill, who is at the University of Ghana, and he will be giving us updates. Bill, if you can hear me, day 2 of the athletics competition didn't end well for Ghana, even though it started with optimism. What went wrong for us?
Yeah, it did not end well for Team Ghana. Very disappointing overall. As you rightly mentioned, in the 100 meters, where it happens to be one of Ghana's strongholds, there was disappointment all over. We had the likes of Edwin Gadai, Abdurrashid Saminu, and Joseph Polamo competing. Gadai made it to the semi-finals, but ultimately didn't make it to the final. Joseph Polamo and Abdurrashid Saminu actually made it to the final, but as you rightly mentioned, Ghana's fastest man, Abdurrashid Saminu, finished 5th in the final, while Joseph Polamo finished 4th. But even during all of that, there was a lot of contention because the starting clock was not working, and so the athletes had to gather around to look at footages and argue it out, and whilst the officials were also compiling the results as well. So it was a messy situation. And also in the 100-meter hurdles, we had Yvonne Britton of Ghana, who had a switch from the US to Ghana 2024. Now, she competed in the final, but unfortunately, she also finished 4th. And we also had the 4x400 mixed relay, also failing to make the podium as well. So overall, very disappointing. A number of athletes that competed for Ghana, none of them actually made the podium. So no gold, no silver, no bronze so far for Team Ghana. Well, there were still a number of issues actually going on. So as I mentioned, the clock was still malfunctioning. Also, journalists complained about the Wi-Fi still because they didn't see the Wi-Fi to be working. All the security had increased a bit, and the welfare of journalists was a bit more prioritized because the journalists now got food handed to them through coupons. They got water, they got drinks as well. But I think overall there are still things to do, and especially during that interview with the Ghana Athletics president, that is Hawa Husseini, it was a bit of a back and forth. You know, journalists expressed their frustration. He was also stating that there are some of the things that were out of his control as well. And it wasn't really a good look overall.
Of course. Now, I mean, what are some of the real issues that we need to tackle? Because I saw footages where even with the poll vote events, polls were snapping and all that. What is really the problem?
Yeah, so with the poll vote, what I do understand is that the athletes bring their own vote, their own polls, their own sticks to actually use for the poll vote because their weights are different and all of that. So it's imperative on them to bring their own. So whatever they brought actually broke. So it's not really on Team Ghana itself because, Peru, due to your weight and all of that, you have to bring your own vote to do it. And so they did, and it was grating. So that's really not on Team Ghana. But when it comes to the starting clock, which was still not working, when it comes to the Wi-Fi, which was still not accessible through the athletes as well, I think that culminated in, a lot of confusion for the athletes in regards to what time they were supposed to check. And also, journalists were actually really, really upset with the
how late they were getting starting late. I mean, for example, myself, if you realize, I always come before 8. And usually when I come, I go straight to the TIC to go and give them pressure to try and get the start list to be able to feed, the team and Ghanaians as a whole. But it gets frustrating because the process is dragged. We did ask the man to say about it. He says the start list is usually accessible to them, but now he has to make sure it translates to the journalists as well. So hopefully today becomes a different story altogether. But the first 2 days has definitely not been a good start.
Of course. It's day 3. What should we expect in terms of the races?
Yes, with day 3, Ghana would have an opportunity to compete in the 4 by 100 meters. That was something that Joseph Olamo mentioned, that he's going to use that to appease the fans as much as possible. Both in the men and in the women's division, we have Ghana competing in the 4 by 1. We do expect one Ghanaian female to compete.
Thanks very much, Bill. There, I think we lost contact with him. Roland, you've had a lot of issues with the organization. I think that we should learn lessons from this going forward.
Well, what happened to the food? Because I saw some international...
Well, South African Aiden Smith was complaining that the food wasn't enough. Particularly about chicken, he says that you are not allowed to take more than one piece and all that. But I'm being told that has been solved, and now everyone is enjoying their meal. And I mean, things are in order at the moment when it comes to the food.
I'm told apparently the Africa Under-17 tournament is ongoing.
Currently ongoing in Morocco, and yesterday was something funny. People were asking why everything goes to Morocco, and someone was actually saying
one of the best facilities apart from South Africa.
And in terms of the organization, it's superb. So it's currently ongoing. Ghana is also in there. We've not played at the Under-17 level on the African continent since 2017. It's a long time, about 9 years, but we are back with Prosper Nate-Ogum. But yesterday, our very own Lai Kingston, former Black Stars midfielder, he's now the head coach of the Uganda Under-17 team. They started their campaign well against DR Congo, got a very resounding 3-0 victory.
Our Lai Kingston, Uganda.
Yes, he was actually the former Under-17 coach.
Yes,
after the African Games, he resigned.
And, he raised concern.
Yes, of course, a lot of, not the African Games, he raised a lot of concern when the Under-17 Wafu tournament was played here. So these are the results that we got yesterday from the opening. It was Egypt that drew goalless with Ethiopia. Ivory Coast beating Cameroon by 2-0. Uganda, led by Lai Kingston, also gets a 3-0 victory over DR Congo, and Morocco, host nation, drew 1-1 with Tunisia. Today, Ghana will be in action. Our first game since 2017 at the Africa Under-17 Championship, and we'll be taking on Algeria at 7 p.m. We are hoping Prosper Nate-Ogum will steer the boys to victory. So these are the fixtures coming up. Mali against Angola, 3 p.m. Then there's Tanzania against Mozambique at 4 p.m. Senegal would also take on South Africa at 4 p.m. and Ghana would play Algeria at 7 p.m. And so you take a note of that. Prosper Nate-Ogum is leading the Ghana Under-17 team. We used to be very strong at the youth level, but we lost that supremacy and we are trying to regain it back. So we are hoping that this time we can have a good start against Algeria and see what the
But that's a difficult because a difficult match. Algeria, Tunisia, Egypt, and then Morocco. They have some of the best grooming talent strategies.
Because of that close affinity they have with France, most of these boys who are born in France have their football doctrine. They are brought to play at the youth level. So usually they have a very, very solid squad.
All right, so we have to move on also. We know that there's a Democracy Youth Cup.
Of course.
And tell us the latest.
Democracy Youth Cup being organized by Parliament. Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumani Bagben, is actually the brain behind the Democracy Cup. I mean, this is the first time, or the maiden edition we have with the Youth Cup. We used to have the senior level where usually has protocol play. We've played 2 editions so far. Then he thought it wise that why not bring it to the grassroots? Give this as an opportunity. So we are being told that 10 players after the tournament will be selected and will have opportunities to have tryouts with teams outside the country. And good for these players because former Sunderland midfielder Gareth Bennett is in Ghana and he would actually be doing the selection of the 10 players. Yesterday, we were at the McDan Park and we spoke to Gary Bennett.
We all know, especially in Africa, Ghanaians, very talented players. And what we're trying to do is to showcase, but also to give them that platform where they might be able to develop and go on and hopefully seek a future in football.
Well, we have to take you to England, and Manchester City have found the pressure on Arsenal.
Do you think it's pressure? Just 2 points. Arsenal play Burnley.
Are you an Arsenal fan?
No.
Okay.
No. My team is not doing well, so I'm not. But let's see what happens. Arsenal's next game against Burnley. Then on the final, they play Crystal Palace at the Selhurst Park. That is the game that most people are looking out for because it's not easy playing at the Selhurst Park. Man City themselves, while they are thinking about Arsenal, will have to also think about beating Bournemouth and Aston Villa to stand a chance of winning. So it could go down to the wire, but as it stands, Arsenal are still firmly on top.
So both of them have 2 games?
Yeah, it's left with 2 games in the Premier League. So next week, Burnley are fighting relegation, so they would have to get something against Arsenal, but it's the Emirates, and it's going to be really difficult for them.
Let's see. Okay, back home, Ghana
GPL also left with 2 games. As it stands, Mediema are also on top of the Ghana Premier League table, followed closely by BBN Gold Stars, and we'll be talking about that one as well. But this, yesterday, we had one new team qualifying for the 2026-27 Premier League. That is DBB United. They had the Premier League playoff against Tamale City. They beat Tamale City by 3-1. So, Roland, what it means is that next season, we are going to have 3 teams who have never played in the Ghana Premier League before making their debut. DBB United, Port City, and Ashanti Gold 04. Not Ashanti Gold SC, Ashanti Gold 04. Even though they have the same colors, they play at the Lincoln Stadium, it is not Ashanti Gold SC, Ashanti Gold 04. DBB United and Port City will be playing in the Premier League next season. But with the main Premier League, the title race is still on this weekend. We have a lot of games, and tomorrow we'll be bringing you all the fixtures to that.
Fantastic. Well, Mutala, thank you so much.
Welcome,
and if you want to get the latest sports headlines, what do we do?
3 Sports GH on all socials.
All right. In the meantime, please make sure you get through 3 Sports GH across social media. You get to know the latest, all the ups and downs, the problems that have bedeviled the ongoing Senior Athletics Championship, but more so some of the winning teams so far. But we have to go for a break. We'll be right back. A recollection and a throwback, and that's what we do right here every Thursday on TV3 Newday. We have to talk about human trafficking and its concerns that have been raised over the period, but particularly from the angle where the police, through their trafficking department, have been big on making sure that they kept the menace, and they had a briefing, and subsequently we want to expand the conversation. We're going to have Richard Kumado, who is a security consultant as well, and then try to expand the conversation. But before that introduction, this is what the police did say on the subject.
Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department, COP Lydia Yakudonko, outlined major cases under investigation, including child trafficking syndicates operating in the Bono region. Several other individuals have also been arrested for alleged involvement in child sexual exploitation.
According to the intelligence report, an Australian offender who was arrested in 2025 and is currently standing trial in Australia received child sexual exploitation material from facilitators based in Ghana. Records further showed that the offender transferred funds to the facilitators in Ghana in exchange for child sexual exploitation material involving victims also located in Ghana. Further investigations conducted by a team comprising officers from Interpol Accra and the Child Digital Forensics and Cybercrime Units under the supervision of the Director General of CID led to the arrest of 2 suspects and the rescue of 2 victims aged between 7 and 13 years in the Ashanti region. Subsequently, 1 additional suspect was arrested and 2 more victims aged 6 and 7 years were rescued in the Bono region.
The CID Director General also touched on a murder case involving a suspect who allegedly killed and burnt his friend, believed to be a vehicle dealer, inside a vehicle near East Legon underpass. Police say the suspect attempted to destroy evidence but was captured by a nearby CCTV camera. However, a more disturbing revelation was the arrest of a 25-year-old fetish priest at J. Krodua in the Central Region. Police reports indicate that the suspect allegedly murdered his client and disposed of the mutilated body. The fetish priest is also alleged to have buried the deceased decapitated head at a cemetery in the Volta region.
Investigations established that the deceased had previously sought herbal treatment from the suspect in 2025 for a swollen leg condition. On 4th March 2026, she reportedly visited him again for spiritual assistance to protect her business. After consultations at his shrine, the suspect allegedly lured her into a nearby bush under the pretext of collecting herbs, where he attacked her from behind with a cutlass, killed her, dismembered the body, and concealed the remains in the bush before taking parts away. During interrogation, the suspect admitted to the offense and disclosed that he had buried the deceased head at Mafi Alvedo in the Volta region.
Police say they remain committed to making Ghana safer for all and are urging the public to volunteer credible information to help crack down on criminal activities within communities. Stanley Nebleu, TV3 News, Police Headquarters, Accra.
Certainly. So we have to expand the conversation. We told you we will do so with Richard Kumado, who is a security consultant, has had long sojourn and also contribute when it comes to not only the academia, writing on it, and then also consultancy, and then speaking on it publicly as well. Good morning to you, Mr. Kumado. You take a look at what the CID boss did enumerate. It should be something we should all be concerned about. Why are we at this point, after several decades of concerns and complaints on the subject of human trafficking, particularly also involving children?
Now, it is a known fact that human trafficking within the West Africa region has become prevalent for some time. And it's as a result of that the police set up the anti-human trafficking unit somewhere around 2008 or 2009. I had the opportunity of working with that unit for a very long time. The Immigration Service also has a center called the Migration Center. Then Ministry of Gender and Children also have a desk for human trafficking. Then the legal regimes, the judiciary also have a desk for that. Within this collaborative framework, or the agencies working together, over the years, they have curtailed many of the schemes within the human trafficking regime. Then we also have the NGOs like Child Rights, Brighter Pia and his group, and many of the other agencies working within the space have contributed to the work done when it comes to human trafficking. To the extent that it's a prevalent activity, it keeps on evolving. And as crime involved, they also involve at the highest level. Many persons have been trafficked across Africa, across the globe, and to some other places in the world. What is important is that the police must build capacity. All the law enforcement agencies and all the stakeholders within the space must build capacity in making sure that if they are not able to prevent it, once the crime is committed and it gets to their notice, they will have to work at it as swiftly as possible, set free the victims, and make sure the perpetrators pay the rigors of the law. Listening to the CID boss, my understanding is that they are working in that direction and they will need support. So we all need to support them in that regard.
Yeah, you look at the areas that were mentioned, you look at when it comes to the so-called and perceived, the rituals, so Volta region, then the traffic points seem to be closer to border points, Bono, Volta, etc. Why do we have that?
It's so because they have also set up an enterprise within that space. Many shrines perform certain rituals, and they are not just rituals for personal protection, but they are also rituals when it comes to the businesses within where they operate. And people consult them for various reasons and for various chances to help them in doing various things. Sometimes it can get wrong or it can go wrong. And when you go wrong, the ramifications are that death could come in. And we have witnessed many of these ritual houses becoming butcher homes, where people who consult some of these ritualists for support have tend to become victims. These ones can be treated on a separate spreadsheet as compared to young women and young men who have been trafficked for exploitative purposes, and they could be transferred from one generation to another or from one perpetrator to another for the purposes of they being abused and money is being made out of them. As compared to a ritualist who will just kill somebody and the police will deal with it as a murder case, and the homicide department of the Ghana Police Service have the capacity in dealing with many of these cases. So these are the two different distinct features of what we are talking about. One is murder, and the other one is a continuous exploitative activities planned by a certain group of perpetrators who planned on the vulnerabilities of many of their victims, being young men and young women, transferred them from one place to another with a cohesive force or with an exploitative cover story that makes it very difficult for their freedoms to be returned. And until law enforcement comes to their aid, the exploitative activities in that regard will continue for a very long time across the globe.
Okay. So how do we have an insight on this, or perhaps increase the pace of trying to curb this, or those who are deemed to be perpetrators, so to speak?
Now, I think within the stakeholders, the agencies must work more together. Intelligence is very important. When I had the opportunity of working with the anti-human trafficking unit, intelligence was what was happiness. We were also working with NGOs within the legal environment who were helping us with some of the cases. Then we have private investigators getting involved. Then we have the NGOs getting involved. Then we have the embassies getting involved. And we have some other NGOs across the globe who are providing some level of support and logistics in that regard. If that collaboration is fomented and is strengthened and is cemented, then I think they will have enough resources at their disposal to ensure that intelligence is provided at the right time, at the right places, for the frontliners to get involved and make sure they either get the perpetrators arrested or dismantle the schemes they are using, particularly when it comes to people trafficking people into Ghana or trafficking people out of Ghana into other parts of the country.
You listen to the CID boss, clearly there seems to be cross-border cooperation between countries, especially those within the West African sub-region, to be able to curb this. But it will mean that that has to be strengthened. How should that be done?
I think discussions at the highest level of political governance will help. Discussions at the highest level of Interpol and law enforcement agencies will also help. Then the intelligence frontiers at our border towns, which has been established for years now, will need to be strengthened so that the right intelligence will be provided to the security officers at the borders, at the ports of entry, at the right time, at the right moment. And with the right intelligence, they should be able to curtail many of these movements that may seem normal to the ordinary eye.
The forensics are important, right? So the police CID boss is indicating an incident, particularly location East Legon or somewhere around like that. They had to go behind, look at CCTV cameras, etc. So it speaks beyond just what meets the eye, getting into detail on forensic investigations as well. Based on your experience, would you say we have a tap on it? We're very much on top of that issue. That if there's a need to beef up, where and how should we be doing that?
Now, I have always said, when I had the opportunity of working with the crime scene department of the Ghana Police Service at the CID block, these are young men and women who have dedicated themselves to doing their job, and they are so professional at what they do. They will need support. Their effort and input has been very tremendous when it comes to unraveling crime and getting to the bottom of it. Their forensic expertise is very expert, and they are expert at what they do. We will encourage them. I'm saying that in my lifetime, let me not die before it happens. I want to see the 21st century well-equipped scientific, forensic, and crime scene investigation department built on its own with the right tools and with the right support systems, so that many of our DNAs will not be going to some other countries, but we will have the capacity of dealing with them here. I also want to see a cyber center, forensic center built within the BNI setup in parts of this country, and so that that level of collaboration will help unraveling many of the crimes that may confront us in the 21st century. Having said that, with the limited resources they have, if you look at the collaborative effort of the CID block, the IGP block, the Cybersecurity Authority, NAPCOP, and the BNI in particular, have gotten the job done. And for 1.5 years now, their success rate has been very superb. I will encourage them to work more and make sure they look for the right resources and put them at the disposal of the frontliners, and their job will get done.
If we then would have to make sure that internally we also do that tightened stakeholder engagement, how should we be doing that beyond what we're doing currently?
In our time, what we were doing is that we were liaising with the international communities, those with similar objectives, and we're writing the proper proposals to them. We had a lot of support, not just in monetary terms, but equipment and expertise. And we also have the legal aid and the legal resource center who are providing pro bono legal services to the anti-human trafficking unit specifically. Today, things have changed. So in that collaborative environment, they will need to work a bit more creatively, look for the resources within and without, and there are organizations out there who might want to support this particular cause, because the impact and the effect cut across all nations. And once they do that, and they have the right resources, and distribution can be done in a manner that the resources get to the right places at the right time, I'm so sure that the expertise of our frontliners will be able to get a job done, and many of these crimes will be prosecuted. One of the things we also need, respectively, is to ask that the Attorney General, who is the #1 prosecutor in this country, will speed up some of these cases when it comes to human trafficking, and when perpetrators are dealt with and the dockets are prepared in a manner that shows that they can go to court. Then we also respectively ask the judiciary to come to the aid of the investigators, because long investigations prepares the docket, it gets to the court, it gets to the Attorney General Department, and the process stall, demoralize the investigators, and the victims can be offended while the perpetrators keep riding on high horses. So if you can have the judiciary coming in strongly with dedicated judges assigned to some of these cases. In our time, that was what was happening. You have specialized courts and specialized judges assigned to these cases. The Attorney General was allowing the police prosecutors to go to court, and we're getting convictions, high levels of convictions, and the judge was getting done. Within the framework, if the NGOs and the police in particular can revisit some of these collaborative tendencies and make the point that they should be allowed to go to court so that the Attorney General can free up the space a little bit. I believe in terms of prosecution and confiscation of assets from the crime will also be a good thing to help rate the Ghana processes and the achievements we have gained over the years to a very highest level.
Yeah, you watch the U.S. government, they rate Ghana as well as a number of like countries in the second category, tier 2, so to speak. It also means that they're not too confident in our ability to be able to prevent or perhaps keep the incident rate, so to speak, when it comes to individuals who could be trafficked, particularly children as well. But now we have frequent collaborations, the FBI, especially when it comes to money laundering, romance schemes, etc. And we know pedophilia or pedophiles, especially from the West, tend to come to East Africa. Now, this could be a good haven as well. How do we ensure that we are able to adapt to these, and then people are not trafficked for some of these purposes, prostitution, etc., just for money?
One of the things we are not good at doing is confiscation of assets from the crime. And we are not good at doing that. So when they are doing the rating, they look out for the sources of investigations, the number of prosecutions, total number of offenders arrested, how well-being has the victims been, then confiscation of crime assets. The proceeds of crime are usually used to acquire some of these assets at lucrative places within the country. One of the things we are not good at, which always affect our rating, is the confiscation of assets. I think Yoko will need to work hard in that area. The BNI, the police, and NACOP will need to work very hard in that area. They will need the support of the Attorney General in that area. That once people use proceeds from these crimes to acquire some of these sophisticated assets that are complex and identify who owns who, if they can make the resources available to the frontliners, they could identify some of these assets. And the legal process must come to their aid in making sure that the right things are done. Because mostly, we find fault when we are default when it comes to that area. Either we do it haphazardly and the assets are returned back to the criminals after some time, or we are not able to confiscate it at all. And that is a problem. But above all, I think building capacity of the frontliners is key. Recently, I understand the police service, the IGP is putting up the intelligence department units to have a training, attended training with the FBI, and the need for combating crime before they get to the highest level was one of the keys that featured at the training. And I think some of those capacity building sessions are key. Then we must also make sure that we put the right resources at the right places. Building capacity goes way beyond just the training. We need to look at the modern demand of the job and whether we are training people appropriately and recruiting experts to fill in those gaps instead of always making the recruitment become too political and experts are not given the opportunity to get in there.
Exactly.
It's something we need to look at it as a nation.
And I have to add that when it comes to our security services, we also have some of the best cooperative agreement or relationship with some of the top-notch security agencies across the world. Is that not so?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes.
Okay.
That side we have done well.
Okay. So as we wind up this conversation, then we have to perhaps look at what then could be the signs that the individuals within communities, enclaves across Ghana, especially in those epicenters or the critical point or the critical areas that people need to be aware of, so that immediately they see those actions or activities that tend to point to, then they know they can report, i.e. community volunteer groups, maybe opinion leaders or communities generally and the public, so that when they see those actions, they can easily report and to whom. Usually, what's the standard operating procedure in your advisory?
No, the police is the first point of call. Today we have decentralized the governance system in such that in every community you have assemblyman and you have a district chief executive who manages the district, but the police play a key role. And we want to say that if you see something you are not comfortable with or something that doesn't look usual, you see strangers in your community, you need to report to the police. You see children being bused to some other locations internally, you need to report to the police. You see strangers coming into your community with persons for domestic services. If you are uncomfortable with it, you will need to report to the police. Reporting to the police is the best you can do. That doesn't mean that what you are reporting is a crime or not, but the police have the ability to start to see whether really something untoward has happened or it's just a stress situation where households are providing help to one another. That is also to say that confidentiality is key and professionalism of the police service is also key. If we can work together with our communities in that regard, I believe crime will be curtailed and things can be done differently before escalation comes in, where there will be a lot of discomfort to everybody involved.
Okay. What would be your last advice generally? We've been on this for decades, if not for years, so to speak. And so we should be sophisticated enough to get to see where our weaknesses lie, what the lapses there are, what achievements so far. And so as we take stock, what will be the advice?
I think we are doing well. But should we do more? Yes. Can we do more? Yes. Are there challenges? Yes. Can we overcome those challenges? Yes. We should put ourselves together. We should work together. And let's make sure the national interest is what matters here. And once the front lines have what it takes to get to the front line and get a job done, everybody will be fine.
All right. Richard Kumado, great consultant when it comes to security, also is an author. I know you've written a book. What's the title of your book? Is it on the shelves? All right, so it's gone quickly as possible. But as it is, please make sure you follow through this conversation. There will be an upload of this across our social media handle, TV3 Ghana. As you do that, it's a pointer of education for all of us and awareness when it comes to human trafficking, particularly child trafficking. The head of CID, we know that did an address yesterday, but it's also incumbent on each and every one of us within the communities to be on high alert when we tend to cite the incidents that make us suspicious as a day. That's why we tend to do these conversations and the education forthwith. But we also have to tell you that all attention of parents, especially for first-year senior high school boarding students and those who will be needing, we have EduPack, the Ghana Education Service, approving and supporting national senior high school initiative being implemented by Prospectus Ghana and is now in progress across Ghana. Now, parents across the country are already registering so that their children's trunk, Macintosh mattress, pillows, and plastic chalk box will be ready and waiting at their schools before reporting day. Now, they are advising, do not delay and be caught in the usual last-minute market rush, carrying heavy items under pressure, because with EduPack, your children do not need to travel to school with these 4 essential items not being on board. So register today by simply dialing *713 *821 #. You also visit any ADB branch or go to their site, edupackgh.com. Make payment, keep your receipts and present it on opening day to collect all your child's EduPack items at the school point. Your EduPack registration follows you to any school in Ghana that you're placed, and also get to avoid the stress, avoid the rush, prepare with confidence. You get to the school and you know that, look, I'm here, because it's affordable as well. And this is also has been approved by the Ghana Education Service, Ministry of Education. So call them today on the number 0500 600 607 or 030 29 550 50. EduPack, no stress, no wahala. Okay, this is how it goes. For those celebrating your birthdays, please, we have some recognition for you as well. So we'll be on the screens very soon, and we'll get to recognize our loyal viewers. It's the birthday of Zaneto Amoncho. Kimberly is your first name. I love this shoot. It's almost like a self-made one. So from your dad, Amoncho right here, Media General, and the rest of the family, happy birthday, Kimberly. You also celebrate your birthday. Don Scotty Matthias from Nelson, Yesuto Akotia, wishing you all the best. Says, God bless and preserve you. Scotty, I love the beard. Charlie, hey, Gen Z's. Nanajua Otrebia the first, to whom I got Equiapim and Latte Himaya. Prisla Mwabin, you're celebrating your birthday. God bless and keep you safe always. It's your special day, so enjoy it to the max. It's from Lolong. Happy birthday to you, Prisla, the beautiful Prisla Amwabing. That's beautiful, Charlie. Very competitive. Also celebrating your birthday is James. From Sarah, says, my love, happy birthday and wishes you long life, good health and prosperity, James. Victoria Akre Doku of Teshi, you're celebrating your birthday, auntie. It's from your siblings. Happy birthday, Nakre. Richmond Honu, may your smile on your face never fade out. And it's from everybody right here at Media General. Richmond is a great guy, hard worker, I have to say. Dedicated. Hey, Mrs. Ivy Tinkrine, yeah, from Aniel. Happy birthday to you, Ivy. Happiest 70th birthday. Mama Peace, Nyami Bedia of Jansakai, and it's from Ishrai and Adom. They are saying, God bless you. Achieving the feat of 70 years on earth is no mean feat. So please, God bless you as always. Hannah, your celebratory birthday is from Nana Kudu. God bless you. Dr. Samuel Kwame Tavia of Pentecost Hospital, Medina Estate, is from Lord Media General. Grow more in Jehovah's grace. That's what Lord is wishing you this morning. Malika Lawal, your celebratory birthday from your entire family. Happy birthday to you, Malika. Ben is Kuzagba, and your celebratory birthday. I love this shoot. And you're an intern right here, Media General, Charlie. Grow lips and bounds. Happy birthday to you from all your loved ones. Mary Adakwayadom, from all your loved ones, they say, may God richly bless you. Minister Richie, yeah, you seem to be walking, but one of the poses, your celebratory your birthday night photo shoots to add to your birthday celebration. Keep shining and imparting lives positively from all your loved ones. Minister Richie. Eddie Bannerman, have a truly wonderful celebration from Bernardino Garcia Jr., Bernard Garcia. Huthanikwe, your celebratory birthday. You make life brighter just by being in it. It's from your mom. Happy birthday to you, young Hajia. Ama Puma Kweno. May God bless your new age from your sister Ikuya. Happy birthday to you, Ama. Happy 60th, Nanayire Mrs. Amelia Crofi of ADB Bank, Ghana, from Sarah, Hampa Palace, and more. Benita Nayuram Gagnon, you celebrate your birthday, little one, from your loved ones and the family. Happy birthday to you as well. All right, so that'll be it for this morning. Please, thank you for joining us as always. We have great content throughout the rest of the day. It's not only mainstream where you can always watch us on your appliances or TV sets, but also join us certainly on our social media handles. TV3 Ghana, just go search for us, or 3 News GH. Get the latest update, 3news.com, our reliable news and current affairs, as well as other blog portal as well. Get the latest as it is. Thank you for joining us. Next, we have the latest sports headlines all for you, coming from 3 Sports GH, right here.
I am